straight black man.
I can't even read that second one like
Grace for a
that.
straight black man.
Your heart,
Michael, oh yeah,
who you
fucking
are
right.
versus your mind. Okay. I
That
can
shit
read
crazy about Michael Irvin.
I like that.
Sean Kizimp. Sean, don't steal my shit, Kemp.
I just put. I was
Mike
just writing
I feel you.
some of
Just
the top trending shit going
spitball.
on. Shit, Zach got some bangers up there.
Nigga put some shit in
It's
parentheses.
funny that you put the whole LBGT shit on there for us.
You
like,
fucking right. That's the LGBTQIA.
Well,
I think they
because
could have put them bitches in alphabetical order though.
so it would have been
A, B,
G.
Lord, fuck no.
Why don't it have to
Fuck
make
no.
sense? I feel like
It'd have been
is
A.
the lesbian
Because I
the
guess
top of-
lesbian came first.
Oh, they like the top.
Hold
No,
on.
they
Is
like
that
that
how
they run that
les-
shit.
Cause I think it was more. I don't know the timeline. What time the
The
years
lesbians and
came?
the bisexuals.
But gay was
Then
the.
it's the-
I really feel like lesbians should
It should
be a
be
part of
G.
that organization.
Gender queers.
I don't think lesbians should be a part of it. Because nobody really bash lesbians.
I forgot what the
I feel like they the only ones that don't get no flack.
I don't know.
They don't get no
Yeah.
flack.
Nobody say
cares
nothing about Wanda
lesbians.
Sykes.
See, you
Nobody
look
say
like you
nothing
know
about
what
Wanda
stand,
Sykes.
what the I stand for.
I think the I is intersexual, if I'm not
What's
mistaken.
that definition?
Intersexual is, we've looked this
What's
up
A?
5
A?
times.
I know. I'm just saying.
I can't remember.
A is asexual.
Asexual. Oh, okay.
I know asexual.
Q is
And
Queer.
T-
Queer.
Is it queer?
Yeah.
Queer.
Okay. Yeah. T is transsexual.
Transgender.
Transgender, transsexual.
Gay. Bisexual. Lesbian.
Yeah, I don't know why you would put them in order. That's weird.
'Cause it'd be A, B, G,
L, T, Q, Q, L, T, I, Q.
I'm just saying, what went into the thought of putting lesbian first? Like
They want to be different. Stand
like,
out.
That's the one that get the least amount of flack.
Shit. Yeah, I don't see nobody
I
talking
ain't
about no
never seen nobody
lesbians.
talk shit about no lesbians.
All right, let's get off of that.
Whoopi Goldberg and lesbian.
They
Get
good
this
in my book.
podcast started.
Yeah, I can give a damn shit.
They good
You
in
ain't
my
taking
book.
one. Hey, you good. Live your life like it's golden.
Mm.
Hey, I gotta testify.
Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky.
Talk to him.
Gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly.
Hey.
For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Back when they thought pink polos would hurt the rock. Before Cam got the shit to pop, the doors is closed.
Wait a minute.
I felt like bad boy street team. I couldn't work the locks. Now let's go. Taking back to the plan. Me and we feeling bad, man. We back. Talk to them. Plus I ain't had no phone in my apartment. Let's take them back to the club. It's about an hour I stand online. I just wanted to dance. I went to Jacob an hour after I got my advance. I just wanted to shine. Jake's favorite line, dog, in due
Hey,
time.
man, welcome to
Now they
another
look at me like,
episode of
damn,
the
dog,
Swelly
you what I
podcast.
am. A hip-hop legend.
Another
I think
one.
I died in an accident.
If you know this
'Cause
voice,
it
then you know
must
what's
be
going on.
heaven.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly.
Huh.
For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky.
Hey,
Gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly.
Big
For
Mania.
the day I die,
A wrestler.
I got something for you. Hold on.
Now let's take them high.
DJ Zigmo.
What?
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Hold on. I heard it. That's a DJ Zigmo.
That was me.
That
Oh,
was
I
him.
thought you ain't got no fucking drop over there.
He thought it was some real shit. Hey.
Hey, man, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, man. If you hear this voice, then you know what time it is. You better check the foot to neck ratio.
Let them know it.
Hey, it's girlfriend from Sherry here.
Hey, man, it's Dallas' most dangerous podcast.
Danger, caution tape.
Make sure y'all vibe with us.
Let me work it. Missy, we need you. We need another one. Ha. Y'all see Missy?
I don't even know how you
She
picked
lost
this
it when she
song.
lost that weight.
You fucking right. Missy look like a whole nother person now.
What she look like?
Slim.
Real slim.
He got on shades. You know what he claimed to be shade. He on a whole nother
right.
level.
Y'all seen the brat?
He been saying since he got here, nigga. I feel good.
Y'all seen the brat?
I think it's in vitro. Right?
The brat?
Yeah, they did a.
I know they used a donor.
They shot her up with the.
I don't know they done did something.
They shot her up with a
Hold on,
syringe.
wait.
I don't even know what y'all talking about
Can
right
we
now.
intro the pod
Hold
first
on.
before
They
y'all
shot up-
start this shit?
Shit, we done had a couple
I know
conversations.
they
Go
use
ahead.
no
Let's
turkey
do the
base.
introduction. Nah, I don't hold
Hold
on.
on,
Base.
hold on.
They got more money for that.
They shot her up with the turkey base.
The brat.
She got a wife.
So deaf.
Big pregnant. Go on,
I thought she was
no,
gay.
look at it.
I thought she was gay.
Hey, the gay people want babies too.
Hey, man, if you listening to this podcast, man, you are now tuned in to Dallas' most dangerous podcast. As you can see, they are ready to talk about.
We can all be parents. Doesn't matter your sexual orientation.
If you know this voice, then you know a couple of things, man. You know that it's episode 118 from Dallas' most dangerous podcast,
Dallas,
man.
Texas.
And if you know this voice, man, then you know it is ZIGGY_the Alpha on all social media platforms. You can follow me any day, any way.
Ziggy Corsese.
But don't follow me. I'm following my dreams. All right, the next thing we got. I fucked it up. It's all right. It's
okay. Pause.
Man, to my right, man.
I just looked it up. I didn't know she was 48.
And pregnant.
I know that's what the headline said.
To his right.
Y'all on one today.
48 and pregnant. That should be bad, but okay. I wish her blessings.
Hey, man, to my right, you understand
Righty-tighty.
me? We got Mr. Put It On, Never Take It Off.
Look at the glasses.
Never take a loss on the sauce. The Izza.
The who?
The Jizza. The Big Talk Shitter. I feel like a 90s rapper. We got the Whizzer.
Talk to him.
One picture and a froze and I'm here.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, and to my left, you understand me? We got the Coach K to the Coach P.
Talk to him.
You feel me? The one and only out the belly of the Grove. We got Grove Side's chosen one.
Yes, sir.
We got Tasha and Mike's middle son.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
understand me? We got 6'5" Swelly, man.
Appreciate it. I'm here.
And to my left,
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
we got
Lefty,
the Swelly
lefty,
sniper.
lefty. Pow, pow.
If he ain't shoot it can't be shot.
Can't be.
We got B-Will shooting
Will.
You want 4?
like Lou Will, goddamn.
Lemon pepper Lou.
Goddamn.
And as a,
Bring it in.
as a collective,
That's a collective.
Yes, sir. Yes,
as
sir.
a collective, together, together, we are
family.
Dallas' most vulnerable podcast,
Easy.
Dallas' most handsome podcast,
Easy.
Dallas' best dressed podcast.
Look at those
Easy.
necks.
We Dallas' biggest podcast,
Bigger
man.
than
You
you.
understand me? Still dangerous,
Danger.
still dangerous, still vulnerable, nigga. We just still.
Still here.
You feel me, man? Welcome back to another audio adventure, man, with the guys.
Yeah.
So can we get started?
Feel
I'm
me?
saying
It's
this.
that time. See,
Yeah, man.
we potting early.
sir.
So
Shout out to E in the building too, man.
Shout out
We
to
got
E.
E in the building
Welcome
too,
out.
man.
Gang, gang.
gang.
So can
man.
we start now?
Gangery.
Gang.
you nigga be walking eager, ain't you?
No, I mean, I'm
you
saying we
ready.
was already in a good conversation.
I would like to check on everybody's mental health
Yeah,
before
sometimes
you.
you gotta let the pussy warm up, man. You just trying to dive right
gotta
in.
let
This ain't no
Stick
pussy
it.
here. Let's
Ease
please
up
not
into
equate
it,
this to
man.
no pussy.
Lick it for you stick.
This is not
Right,
equate
man.
this to no pussy. This is
He
regular.
relax,
brother.
This is a meal.
Before you begin to berate the community with this misogyny,
Hold on, berate. This is real facts.
I would like to
This is
check.
new news.
I would like to check on everybody's mental health. We're gonna start on this side.
On this side.
Fine.
How
I'm
you
good on
doing?
this
How your
side.
mental health?
Man,
People?
y'all, hold on. Let me put my camera on. Okay. Y'all know what I'm feeling like, man. I'm at a motherfucking 12.
Look at the busty. Look at the busty. Look at the busty.
sir.
That's not
If y'all don't
bronze. That's
know-
gold, my buddy. That's
Y'all
not
don't
bronze.
know,
That's gold, my boy.
Left hand gang. You know, I got my missus now.
You got the spinner.
Shout out to my beautiful wife,
Spinner ring.
Lydia Barnes. You hear
There
me?
we
Talk
go.
to him.
Know
Talk
what
to
I'm
him.
saying? So, yeah, March 3rd, 2023 at 3 p.m. Me and my beautiful wife got married. You know
Talk
what I
to
mean?
him.
Then we had a reception on the 4th at the crib. You know what I mean?
Yes,
at our
sir.
house, the Barnes house. You feel what I'm saying? But had a good time. I'm feeling good, man. Yeah, I'm on vacation too, so I don't give a damn. I'm feeling good, man. Life's good, bro.
Okay,
Life's good.
I'm still alive.
We
Yes,
like
sir.
that. We like that, man.
Yes, sir. Left
Give it up
hand
for my-
gang.
give it up
Yes,
for
sir.
y'all,
I need
man.
that. I need that. Appreciate it, man.
Y'all had a
Appreciate it.
beautiful event, man.
That
We
nigga said
enjoyed
I'm
it.
12. He said, fuck the 10,
Fuck
nigga. I'm
the 10,
12.
nigga. I'm past that.
We enjoyed
I'm
that,
past
man.
that for sure.
We enjoyed
Oh,
it.
for me then, shit, I should have went first, but it depends on the time of day you ask me. Sometimes I'll be like a 3 or 4, then sometimes I get high as hell. So I'm gonna say right now, I'm like a good 6. I'm a good 6. I ain't all the way on the left, but I ain't all the way to the right. I'm right there in the middle. Too much shit going on in my life to get like a good consistent. You know, I'm a schedule ass nigga, so my nigga Mike say I'm from the 6. We don't hang with Drake.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm doing good though, man. Like I got a lot of complaints, but then I got some shit that like it just as time go on, some of this shit gonna get fixed by
better.
itself. So it's just like.
Right.
But last week I spent my last day at Education is Freedom, so you know I'm no longer employed
Last
there.
day.
So I start my new job on the 27th. So my boy B, we're off this week. I'm off this week and next week. I gave myself 2 weeks green break before I start
okay.
working. So
Must
yeah,
be nice.
I'm doing good,
That's
man.
beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Shit, man. Congratulations, bro.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations
Making moves over here.
on not only leaving, you know, where you had been for such a long time, because you know once you've been a place, you can become a creature of habit.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Excuse me. Shit. That C30 coming up.
You damn right, percolating.
For the listeners, that was a burp. But what I will say is that, you can become a creature of habit, bro. And I think for you to be able to break out of that and step out and say, you know what, I'm going to go for it and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
For somebody that doesn't like to do that naturally, I'm happy for you, man.
I'm definitely somewhere I can be a motherfucker. I can stay somewhere and just get my shit together.
Yeah,
but
I'm happy
and
for
I
you.
did a 2 weeks notice. I ain't never did that shit in my life. I normally just quit some shit and be like, I'm gone. So I did it the right way.
Professional.
But if I didn't do that shit, I would have got a bonus. They gave out bonuses like the next couple of days. I was like, if I would just quit like I normally do.
That's some spiteful shit. They like, we're going to give out a bonus. You
I think-
want to quit, nigga? We got a bonus for you.
These last couple of weeks, they being petty
how
as
these
fuck.
jobs work.
They being petty as fuck, but it's all
That's
good.
why I always say, man, anybody that's listening to this, man, when it comes to jobs, man, choose yourself every time.
Yeah.
Choose yourself and your family every single time, because if it come down to it for a job, they going to choose them. So I always operate, I enjoy working with people, you know what I'm saying? I create relationships, but I always prepare myself an exit route too.
You pick yourself over them all the time.
All the time, especially when it comes to jobs. You got to. So for me, man, I think I'm about a 7-8, about a 7-8. Yeah.
Right.
Life has been lifing, man.
How many days to the wedding?
Ooh.
Last time it was like 71, 70. You
like
said 72,
60.
71?
Yeah,
Last
let
episode?
me see. I can find it out real quick.
58.
You think
I'm
it's
going
58? Let me
Over
see.
under?
I'm going
I'm gonna go
58.
60. I'm gonna go 61.
Let's see. I can
60.
tell y'all. I can tell y'all. We got.
60.
So you got no countdown now.
58.
Yeah, we do this right here. Hold on. Let me
58.
need to go home. We have
11 hours,
60?
15 minutes.
61 days.
Damn.
61
Right on
days.
the, hey, I'm like that.
61
I'm like that.
days.
I'm like that.
So 61 days to the wedding. Life been lifing, man, but I think I'm just real focused right now. I'm at peace, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good, bro. I can't complain, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things happening around me, but I'm really, settled in my foundation. So life is going to happen regardless at this point. So for me, just to be focused and settled in my foundation so nothing really shakes or moves me, being even keel as I can, is the best thing that I can do. It's the best thing that I can offer for me and my family. So I'm good.
There we go. So I'm about an 8. Pitcher and froze did what he need to do. I'm on break.
You said a pitcher and froze.
A pitcher of mimosa and a froze.
So you came to work drunk.
Would you call this work?
I do.
I would. Yes. Yes, I would.
We can't do a lot of things
That's
that
all
we do here.
Man,
that
my
work.
boy had some of that
I,
juice.
I drink on the job, so
We got HR right here in the corner. We're gonna handle that after this. Don't worry.
Right.
Anybody
We're
who come up to the pod, you getting a job.
This
So
man be on perk 30.
Yeah.
He talk about HR.
Everybody- Yeah.
a perk 30 is
He be on that Celsius.
Celsius. You
I understand
can drink
that.
those.
But again, we
You
just
can't
took.
be-
You just
No, it's
said the
fine, it's fine,
disclaimer
it's fine, it's fine.
because we all understand what perk 30s are in this room.
Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you, bro.
No, we good. 8.
So about
do the
8.
math.
Okay, awesome, man. Awesome. So I think as a collective, we
we good. That 12 set us off the chart.
fucking
Yeah,
right.
we up there.
So his
That was-
extra
that's-
2,
that's
almost
extra
6.
credit.
He gave me 8 and 8. Yeah, we good. We good over
extra
here.
It's
credit.
a blessing, man.
So can we get into the
good.
topics? We know how we feel.
God damn.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Go ahead, bro. Take it away.
Nah, because I
No,
mean,
go ahead.
cool.
Let's go,
So
Walker.
have y'all? I asked, do y'all watch Amazon Prime movies?
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Boy, I seen Monique's last film. I think the last thing that she recorded. This shit was like so. Let
Talking
me
about
just
that
give
scary movie?
Damn. Did you watch that?
Hold on. You got for the listeners. You
What
got to
I
see
am.
something, 'cause I don't even know what
We
you're
just
talking about.
just
It's kind
so
of like the reading or something like that.
that I couldn't say that I couldn't understand the title, but I'm gonna give y'all like a quick run through.
Okay.
First 2 minutes of the movie. This is the first 2 minutes. She in an interracial marriage.
Is he white?
Interracial. So you do the math.
I'm just saying he could be Hispanic. I'm just asking.
No, he's white.
Okay.
So interracial marriage. Come home, kiss husband. I'm finna make dinner. Crawfish at that.
the white dude making crawfish.
No, Monique making crawfish for her and the 2 kids.
Gotcha.
In the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes of the movie, 4 people in black hoodies and black masks come, kill the husband, suffocate the daughter, drown the little boy, beat up Monique and cut her finger off.
That sounds like a good intro to me.
Bro,
I'll be in tune.
this
I'll
the
be-
first 3 minutes.
That
I'm
shit
like,
sound
bro,
like
what is
John
going
Wick.
on?
That
So-
sounds like John Wick.
The movie is, I guess, a group of people. One girl is like, she goes in and talks to dead people. So they use it as like a hustle. Like they hustling white folks. Hey, I'm talking to your mom. She say donate $800 to the NAACP. She said don't question it. I get the hustle. I'm with it. So they go to Monique's house. She got like a white.
Oh, you can do
woman.
the whole movie. Okay.
No,
I'm
no,
still
no.
with
Just
you.
quick. This is just where I cut it. So she go to the house.
It's
got
called The Reading.
Yeah.
The white. She has a. I'm not sure if it's a handler or an assistant that she got, but she asked him to come in, do a reading of the house, talk to the kids. Girl, go deeper in than she ever did because she's trying to get out that game. She's trying to do something different. She get kind of sucked in to the point where
She's trying to get out of the talking.
she's
to
trying
dead
to get
people
out of
game.
dead to talking to dead people. Like they do that for money, but she's trying to do something different. She's not feeling it. She's starting to feel different. So she goes
I feel
in.
like once you start talking to dead people, that's kind of like your thing at that point. I don't know if you can just retire from that.
Hey man, well you may want to go to a
No.
different route. But
You know what I mean? Like,
oh,
it
after
ain't like
this-
drug game. You know.
after this movie, she found another career. I bet she
Put that shit
did.
down.
But long story short, she gets sucked into a trance to where she starts saying the thoughts of the older daughter, then starts saying the thoughts of the younger the son, and then out of nowhere, Monique get up, walk away, and in her house, like so. This is the messed up part. All this happened in the same house that she's staying in. So she's staying in the same house where her husband was killed, her kids was killed, and she got beat up and her finger cut off. So she put massive locks on every door, like camera. She got a gun. She put like the purge kind of locks on her door.
Okay.
So after she get up and do all of that, she get up and lock all them doors. She got a little the people that's got the people. She got a little tough dude with her. She like, hey man, we ain't take no money. You need to open them doors. So he go over there trying to flex on him. Monique pop his ass in the chest with that gun. Pow.
That's how it ended.
No. So
Well, we're not finna go through this
no,
whole.
that's it. This is it. So when she sit down, she look at the girl and say, why y'all can't y'all leave? The girl don't now realize, bro, nobody broke into this house. She killed all her family.
Oh,
Monique
shit.
is psychotic. And you know in Get Out,
I feel like it's a good movie. I think
That's
no. But you understand in Get Out where people like, you know, they got that still look and they break out and run. If Monique ain't did that about 6 times in that movie, you remember
It's called
what's the
it's SID, where you have like you separate yourself from reality because of trauma you've experienced, so you have like split personality. So sometimes you're not even there. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
but it had me laughing a couple moments because you know in Get Out with old boy, what's
Lakeith Stanfield.
no. What's old boy that's supposed to be the grandpa that ran against what's the track man?
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens. When how he was running,
Yeah.
like he'll be looking and then burst out running. If Monique ain't do that about 7 times in that movie,
Okay.
and that shit was funny as hell because they zoomed in. Then I know that she just take off running with a knife or a gun.
This is my camera.
Yeah.
Hit that right there. And these are movie reviews with the Wizard.
There we go.
Go check out The Reading on Amazon Prime.
You was ready to talk about that shit.
It was multiple things to talk about. First, it was the brat. I didn't know until I seen that picture.
You was like, y'all ready to get on top? I think this movie finna be some shit.
Nah,
to
I
like,
thought
Nah,
you
that
was
shit caught me off guard. 'Cause I
Ain't
was like,
nothing
what the
to be a
hell we
movie
watching
review.
about that?
I thought you was gonna unpack that.
Me too. I thought it was gonna be like
Nah.
he
I was,
unpacked it and
I
packed
was,
it back up.
I was sitting there as
And
in disbelief.
for all the
the
listeners
entire
out there,
time.
do not watch the movie because you know it's finna happen now. Like the whole movie is done. I think I can predict the whole movie.
Nah, that was
It's-
hard.
it's
though.
very predictable.
You ruined that movie for everybody. that
Shit, I
wanted
thought
to
it was a
watch
Tubi movie until she said it was Amazon Prime. The acting was terrible.
All right, let's get into some topics.
Terrible.
This is what happened when you come to work drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, tipsy a little bit. Drunk, no. Hey, everybody
I
knows
don't know what's
coming to work
going on
is
right
fun.
now. I don't really know what's going on anymore.
Oh, we gonna get
'Cause
some more
He
in
said you
here.
ready to get into some topics, so I'm looking at the board. I'm like, okay, he finna bring us some shit over here. That
Well,
nigga.
while we are on movies and things like that have come out, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all wanted to talk about Chris Rock stand up and some of the clips and
Slap going around the world.
I hadn't watched it. So I wanted to get
Netflix.
y'all take
Okay,
on it.
the reason I want to bring it up, I just wanted other men's opinion on how Chris Rock dealt with the situation. I felt like it was a pussy move, in my opinion. Like I'll get you guys slapped in public and all that, but the shit he said on stage, I felt like if you a real one, you should say that shit as soon as he slap you.
What did he say?
So he was just like,
Have y'all? So everybody's
have.
seen it.
I saw the most. Well, I seen it, but the clip. So like, pretty much, he was pretty much saying like, he brought up the August Alsina shit. Y'all having like you letting this young boy fuck your wife, and then he just gave her all they dirt, and he was just pretty much talking shit about their family, right? And I didn't like it. It just felt. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I don't even think Chris Rock is that funny either. But leading up into that point of the stand up, he had some funny moments. There's some shit that was actually funny in there, and then he just ended on that. And I think it was like a very unmanly way to handle it. I feel like if you really felt that way and you gonna say that shit, as soon as he slap you, you a comedian. You got to start going in now. Like, nigga, I'm not the one you having the entanglements with or whatever the fuck the shit called. Like, he could be throwing that shit on him now live. Like, fuck, you slapped me, so the whole script is off anyway. Don't do a whole special talking about somebody. It's like, I just felt like that was very pussy. It was just like, damn, why would you? Then it wasn't even about Will Smith. He started bringing up Jada shit, and it was just like, to me, that shit was very cringy. Because then he ended on that. He like, the reason I ain't do nothing back at the show, because my mama said don't fight in front of white people. Slammed the mic down. That was probably the worst mic drop of all time. It was like the most horrible.
Yeah,
like he spiked that whole, like he scored a touchdown. My mama said don't fight in front of white people. Slam and walked off the stage. We were like, what kind of shit is that? So like, that was just my opinion on it. But for other men, I want to ask you how you feel that situation should have been dealt with as men. Like, say hypothetically, you on stage and then they come slap you, and you don't want to fight because you do have an image and all that. How would you handle it though?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Me personally, nigga came up and slapped me on stage, and in that moment, I probably wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
If I was in shock,
I think the way he handled it was well.
Yeah,
in
very
the
well.
moment.
In the
in the moment,
I think post actions have
it
been
would have been a little different.
where it has been where he's looked corny.
Yeah. Post action for me would have been a little different because I would have tried to talk to him personally.
Oh, you know,
Either-
talking at the
no, I mean talk to him or either, bro. It's just me. I'm just saying.
Nah,
in that-
that's you. Just be.
in that, you know what I mean, in that image that I'm in, like we gotta talk, we gotta have some type of conversation, interview or something to see what the fuck going on. But other than that, yeah, if he would slap me on it, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
Now you
But
got
I ain't finna come in and do that shit
my
that he
slap
doing.
back.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
TV
in public. I
And-
gotta
and-
do it in
No,
public.
it ain't gotta be in public.
No.
Oh shit! Fuck
On
me,
it-
shit.
An
It
interview.
ain't gotta be in public.
You got people in Afghanistan
What's that
saying you gonna
slave
slap
movie
me.
Will Smith had?
Emancipation.
Emancipation.
Soon as he on the motherfucking red carpet, I'm gonna slap the shit out of it. I gotta get my lick back in public. That's
I don't
kind of.
gotta, but you
Yeah,
gotta,
it gotta be in
you gotta let
public,
me
bro.
slap
And
you.
then he
though.
said some corny shit like that when he like the only reason he
Yeah.
watched the slave movie just so he can see Will Smith get whipped, like get him get beat. Like he was just, it would get to the point where it was like it was cringy to watch. Like damn, nigga, like. So your
That
mama
sounded
say don't
corny
fight
as
in
fuck.
front of white folks, but you gonna have this special on Netflix talking about black people. Like, come on, like.
I mean, I took the whole thing from his perspective because I'm big on you can't tell people how to react or not react.
True.
Because we're all different people. We all move and are triggered by different things. But in essence of the special, basically he got paid for that. This is the first time I've ever seen something on. I didn't watch it live. That was the first time I seen Netflix push something live. So I know you get money based on the amount of people that's watched it live. So he got a bag off of that. Plus he went on tour doing that material. So, and I believe if they would have fought on stage, Chris Rock wouldn't have been able to make the millions of dollars that he made by going on tour and establishing in this. I didn't know when people record specials for like
If he'd knocked Will Smith the fuck out, he would have been able to get millions too. You
Chris
knock out
Rock,
Muhammad Ali.
but this thing, Chris Rock will never knock
Chris
Will
Rock-
Smith out.
Yeah,
Never.
Chris Rock did say you pick on me. Like he played the victim role really well.
I mean, victim. People can deliberate on who was the victim in this situation. But
I think it's Will.
You
really,
think he's the victim?
how?
Because the Jada just put him up to that shit. He didn't want to do that shit. He was having a good time.
Then
man.
he
then-
shouldn't have done it.
Then he shouldn't have got up there and smacked
You
somebody.
know how it be when your lady get
No.
No, you cheated on me. So at this point, we just gonna sit here
Not
and
e-
take
not
the joke.
even
But I'm
that.
saying,
Not
but-
even
no,
that.
I ain't talking about. I'm talking about if a man disrespect your lady and she feel disrespecting, you say, "Hey, nigga,
And,
stop
okay.
talking about my woman." You keep going. At this point, I gotta put my hands.
Yeah,
on
no,
her.
I don't though. Or I don't have to do it in public. One, my thing is as a man, your woman doesn't dictate how you respond to a situation. You dictate how you respond to a situation. And you can't always
I
respond
get
to
that.
a situation out of an emotional reaction from yourself or your partner, regardless who that person may be. And I think you have to take time to assess the situation. It's like Nipsey Hussle when he did that interview.
Yeah.
We have to start changing the way we react to disrespect, bro. I think just as black men in general. And if we can start to do that one man at a time, then a lot of these situations can be avoided.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like at the end of the day, if I'm your, I don't know if they were friends. You know, I just
According to the shit,
They
Chris
was
Rock
cool,
was
right?
saying, I
Well,
was
no,
a
he
fan
said-
of you.
yeah, he's a
it seemed
fan
like
of
he said, like, we
his.
was boy, like we was like supporting each other. Like,
okay.
so-
With that, in fact, I don't mind. I don't mind being the butt of your joke. Me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't make my spouse or my family the butt of your joke. So if you talk about me, that's different. Like I kiki and I laugh all day with niggas. Like you can talk about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine. I don't mind being the butt of jokes. I know I've never minded that. But then you don't get to it's a certain boundary you have to be aware of, especially when it comes to men. You don't cross that boundary into talking about people's wives, people's
True.
kids. You leave that with that on their forefront with the man.
So how did you deal with disrespect? How did you operate with disrespect?
I think for me,
I haven't been disrespecting in a minute,
me
so
either,
I don't
me
know.
either. But what I have learned now when I'm disrespected, I don't sugarcoat. I don't cut no corners. I let you know, hey brother, that shit was disrespectful. If you do that again, we're gonna have a problem.
what is the problem? Like I'm asking like how black men need to operate. Like now we got a problem.
Yeah, what's
Then
the-
what?
what's
What
Well,
you
I
do?
think the first time is
I
you.
think the problem is an ass whooping coming.
No. But the first time I give you the grace, like I give you the grace, like I give you the grace. Hey, bro, what you said or did was disrespectful, and if you do that again, there's gonna be an issue.
Some people not really worth talking
I'm asking
about.
like,
But
what is the
what I'm
issue?
saying is that should be the start. I think a lot of times they don't even get to that. It be disrespect. Now's the issue.
But do you think you always got to say something to somebody when, like if you feeling disrespected or somebody
yes.
disrespected?
I believe you gotta address it.
Because it's not for me. A lot of times it's not for me. Like me letting you know, because not of times when you disrespected me.
Right.
So a lot of times this is not for me. I know and you know that you disrespecting me. This is for you, brother. Because if we go past this, there's no more coming back.
Everything needs to be addressed. Because at the end of the day, I need to address it. Because the thing is, like Zach said,
I don't want you to think you got
sometimes-
away with
but
something.
there are sometimes people that just don't read rooms and just say whatever that's on their mind, and it can come off disrespect. Now I gotta address you and be like, hey, bro, I ain't like how that came off. Like, is that what you really meant?
Then if he say
But-
fuck you, then what?
Like
You put
sometimes-
your hands on. I'm just saying like the fight is coming. That's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
then I'm gonna push his
I know
face in.
Nipsey said we should another way, but what is the other way? Like, what can you do after,
But-
after you get past that first part of disrespect when he's still disrespecting you?
You saying like after he
So like, hey, bro, I wanted you disrespecting. He be like, I don't give a fuck how it made you feel.
all right, then I cut off access at that point. All right,
Oh, so
that's-
you're not fighting. You just
that's
like
cool. Nah, it's not that I'm not fighting because at the end of the day, nigga, I'm still me.
No, I'm just
You know
asking
what
for
I'm
like
saying?
tools of practice. Like
Talking
I'm
about
trying
the
to-
process, like the
process,
step
like,
one
what
all
do
the
we
way
do
to the
next?
end
What do we do
result.
next after
okay,
that?
go ahead. B.
Oh, my thing is, bro, it's like sometimes when I see like somebody trying to disrespect me or something like that, I don't feel like I always need to react or give them reaction from it because that's what they're looking for in that moment of trying to disrespect you. You know what I mean?
They
'Cause
want to
sometimes-
pull that out of you.
Yeah, so sometimes I don't even give people my energy because I'm like, bro, like
You
what
trying
you
to-
doing don't even matter to me. Because
Yeah.
you disrespect, you think you disrespect, you're not disrespecting me, you doing something for yourself.
Yeah,
so
bro.
I don't really give a fuck about what you saying.
So and I'm on that same page with B Will. Like for prime example, there was somebody I want to say maybe couple months ago, maybe even a year ago, hit me up on text messages and was like just being kind of real disrespectful towards me. And I hit him. I said, "Hey, bro," I said, "You know what I'm saying? I've left that beef in the past. It ain't that deep. But if it affects you, whatever, I'll let it be." Because I understand the bigger picture of what this is as far as like black men in the community and being able to wrap our arms around each other. I don't have to like you, but I can appreciate your life enough for me to not further beef.
That's the first thing my mind turned to.
And
in
so,
this
and so,
current
but
thing.
then after, so this is where it says, well, what you do after that. So then after I sent the long message, the nigga hit me back and was like, I ain't reading that shit.
bro, hold the fuck up.
Nigga hit me
I
back.
respect it. I respect
Nigga
it.
hit me back and said, I ain't reading all that shit. I said what I said. So then I said,
That's an ignorant motherfucker right there. Bitch, I ain't reading nothing you say. All right, bitch, fuck you.
Ain't
all
your
that
girl,
shit.
nigga. I ain't finna read all that shit.
so then, and this is still a work in practice every day for me. So then I sat back and I said, okay, I can approach this one of two ways. I can meet your smoke with more smoke and we can make a goddamn bonfire. Or I can say, you know what? I'm not even going to allow you to stir up all this emotion in me. I'm going to remove the access from you and I'm going to allow you to feel whatever you feel because it's clear that you have a predestined idea in your mind and there's nothing I can do to change it. You're going to view me this way so I can just remove myself and not even allow this to go any further. And that's what I did.
So-
And it's not for a lack of fighting. And some people are hearing me like, oh, that shit pussy. Yeah, but if you see me outside,
Well, we 30 now. I feel like fighting is like kind of like
yeah, but if you see me outside, you know it's me. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's me at the end of the day.
And also,
You know what I'm saying?
ain't too much fighting going on nowadays. It's
Yeah, niggas
one
getting
way or
shot.
another.
That's a lot of ego shit that when niggas get to fighting about disrespect, for one, it's a lot of ego in that.
Yeah.
And then two, because you got to understand who you are, bro. So it's like you got to understand who you are for shit to come off as disrespect. You know what I mean? So
Well,
it's
and,
like,
and at the end of the day, bro, I think what you got to think about, I think the bigger picture of that is it's your heart, who you truly are, versus your mind, who you think you are. You know what I'm saying? And that ego
Segue.
is mind. You know what I'm saying? Bang bang. That that ego is mine. This is who I think I should be. That's where the ego is. This is who I think I should be. This is how I think I should operate. This is how I think people should view me. That is, and then you have your heart, is who you truly are. And a lot of times at your core, your ego can't operate with your heart.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so.
Yeah,
it hasn't
they
worked well
don't-
for me.
yeah, they don't go
They don't
synonymous with each
coexist.
other.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I think
yeah.
if you operate from your heart, then it's not saying that, oh, I'm gonna be a bleeding heart. I'm gonna give everything and everybody grace. It's saying that the way I feel and who I truly am, I need to protect that at all costs versus protecting my ego.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To move on from this,
So
and
do you feel like the ego is bad though? Because I feel like sometimes it's needed.
I think being egocentric is bad. I think
Okay, I need that.
confidence and egocentric is two different things. I think egocentric is narcissistic, it's self-centered, it's me as main character syndrome. I think confidence is a totally different thing. Like confidence isn't arrogant, it don't boast. Like I know what I can do.
confidence ain't loud.
I know what I can do. Like I don't walk in a room like nigga, I'm Ziggy. I walk in the room, I greet everybody, I'm humble towards everybody, but you feel the confidence on people. You feel when people know who they are. It's a confidence in self, not a confidence that I need to be bigger than you or overshadowing you.
I got you. What you saying, B-Walk?
I was finna say, I know we are growing as men, and I was just gonna say, I know just moving forward with that, I know things would probably change with that if our family, wives, children, immediate family was disrespected. Now, because it's different when we talking about us. We know how to handle things certainly when it comes to us.
Like,
but when
Will
it's
Smith
brought
is the
when
victim.
when it's brought to somebody else, at that point in time, that's when sometimes the best thing to do goes out the window when you mess with somebody that ain't got nothing to do with this. So I agree with everybody in this room. Like if it come down to you talking about somebody else, nah, I got smoke with you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Will Smith acted because he had a good night going, and then something happened.
He was racking them awards.
You fucking right.
He was having a
But
good
nah,
night.
King Richard.
And then she said something in his ear, and I was like, I gotta
That's
go
like
put that work in.
Michael Jordan winning his championship.
Nah,
Nigga
it's
just
even
come
greater.
up-
It's even greater
Slap
than
the shit
that.
out the commissioner.
It's even greater than that. It's only been 3 black actors that have won Best Actor in Oscar history. He was gonna be the third.
That's for real?
Dead ass. He was the third black African American lead to win Best Actor in Oscar history.
So Denzel got one for Training Day.
And it's been 2. Denzel won it twice.
Sidney Poitier.
So
right?
it's really 4 because he said Denzel won it twice. So Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington, then it's gonna be Will Smith. Denzel won it twice for 2 movies. I can't remember which the 2.
I know who.
But he
never
said it's
win
really
it.
3.
I know who'll never win it. Michael B.
You fucking right.
No acting
He
ass.
just wanted to get.
Hey,
He wanted to get all the
hey,
shit
he
out.
may get on the director, and then he
Nah,
gonna get
he-
the actor.
so
Director.
Honestly, his
The movie was
directing,
really great.
His directing, top tier.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah,
cold.
I
It was
think,
cold.
I think that's his lane.
How did y'all feel about that fight scene when it went black? Because people tried to say that was trash.
I don't even remember. I didn't watch the whole once, and I don't even remember seeing.
I've seen it twice. I've
The-
seen it
the
twice.
fight
I
scene-
appreciated it more the second time.
Yeah.
When him and Jonathan Majors had the final fight, and at LA Dodger Stadium, and at one point in
That
the
was
fight,
live.
at one point in the fight, it goes black, and they go to like another realm, and it's
That's
just
why you
Jonathan
like anime
Majors.
shit.
Yeah, and that was his reference. I think of his old
Dragon
to
Ball
anime.
Z anime. Yeah.
I think not just Dragon Ball Z. I think Bleach.
Yeah, because he said multiple different
think, yeah,
fighting scenes
I
were
think
put
his-
into
No,
that.
I ain't
his
no
5.
anime.
I think it was Bleach. It was one. What is it?
I ain't gonna even go there with you. I don't know anime like
It was a
that.
few different ones. It was a few different ones. But
So I do got a question back on that last topic though.
Yeah.
So when you were saying what the Nipsey said and black men should do X, Y, and Z, like so
he just said we got to find another way to react. Black people, when we feel disrespected, we got to find
Right.
another way.
So when we speak, I'm curious in your mind how my mind view it. When we thinking we trying to like help the black man, right, or whatever, we try to do a new perspective, new way to new world order type shit, right? Is your goal for like all black men when you speak? Cause my mind, I'm always tailoring my shit toward the youth, right? I think about like
Yeah.
18 down. I feel like they can get it. Most of the time, I don't give a fuck if you 25 and up. I don't give a fuck what you do at this point. Cause I feel like at that point you are kind of set in stone for who you want to be, or you got to make the changes. I can't influence your change and nothing like that. So when we do pie, who y'all be thinking when we say black men do this? Cause I'm tailoring my shit toward like young ass niggas. But like, how do y'all be?
I tailor it to like this is the thing. I don't believe that second part because the thing is anybody's able when people want to change their life, they'll change it.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, when you 25 up, you got to do that.
Yeah,
for yourself.
at this point, because I say it open ended to everybody because even some older adults can learn from their old ways and change. Now the likelihood probably not. But I see why you say the younger youth because the thing is we're like you said we said like probably a year ago we're the OGs, we're the people that they look up to. They're looking for the game from us. So I say open ended hope more so for the youth to gain, the people in our generation to maybe learn some stuff that we speak about, and the older generation to kind of change their old ways because we all need everybody. Like it can't be just say we need the youth. We need all phases, whether your age group or not. We need everybody.
I was just curious when we be talking. I be thinking, I be wondering how y'all thinking.
I say I do it to people that are honestly people I care about, but I try to reel in people that
Along
I
the way,
see along the way. You know what I mean? I do it for the people that I really care about, or the people I fuck with strongly, because I feel like they'll listen to me more, and then it'll impact them, and that love will actually try to change them more. You know what I mean? So I want them to show that same love to their friends, and then it'll spread that way.
Real.
You know what I mean? But other than that, like if I don't know you, I'll try to show you that love, or you know what I mean, try to show you that respect and stuff like that, to see if you'll change, or see if you even listening to what I'm saying. Because some people don't, but sometimes people come back and be like, "Damn, bro, you was really talking some real shit." You know what I mean? I appreciate you and stuff like that. Because like, I had a coworker the other day. He came in, he was in a bad mood. I was like, bro, you don't feel like you good? You in a bad mood? He was like, yeah, I don't feel like talking. I said, okay, cool, bro. You know what I mean? I just talk to me later.
That's real.
Then he came back to me and he was like, man, I appreciate you doing that, because a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean?
Fucking
A
right.
lot of people be like, man, you need to stop having a bad day. You need to cheer up.
Being a
and all
Debbie
this.
Downer.
He was like,
that.
man, you allow me to, you know,
To
what I
be
mean?
in that moment,
To be in that
yeah.
moment. He said, man, I appreciate that. He was like, he said,
That's
I
real.
love you
That's
that,
for
bro.
real, for real.
So
I
that's how I
think my
that way.
preference is the generations that come behind me, kind of synonymous to
like
be
your brother age.
anybody that's younger than
than
me.
you, yeah.
Like I think the preference is the generation of people that's coming behind me, like that generation of black man. Like I want them to understand that there's a better way, as far as, you know, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, from what you put in your body to, you know what I'm saying, what you take in your mind. I want them to understand it's a better way, and if you can shift those things, then your entire universe can shift. But I think, like, if I catch a man that's my age, and you know what I'm saying, and we get to rapping, you know what I'm saying, even somebody older than me, like, you know, if my dad can listen to this and learn, if, you know, my uncles, anybody, like I had an uncle who hit me not too long ago, a couple months ago, like, man, I listened to y'all podcast. He said, man, what y'all doing, keep going. And then I had like another one of my, kind of like a mentor, somebody I looked up to when I was in high school, that was one of my close friends, older brother. Same thing. He was like, bro, y'all are touching places that I wish I had touched at y'all age, emotionally and mentally. He said, because it would have saved me a lot of heartbreaking stuff now in my later 40s, I think he's in. So I think it's important to all ages. I get what you're saying, like, well, once you hit a certain age, nigga, this ain't for you. But I think it is. It's for anybody. It's for anybody that got an open heart.
Just willing to change.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
believe the younger generation need more guidance than our generation and the generation after us, because they're in a lot.
Say that.
They're
I'm
in
gonna let you
an
go on.
environment to where literally they teaching themselves, and if you're not in the mix of it, I can't teach myself about something I've never been in, because then again, you susceptible to be learning the wrong thing and thinking that's the right way. A lot of young individuals out here moving thinking it's right, and they really just calculating time for their downfall.
So when you say young individual, are you talking about like?
I can't really give an age
But
because
I don't think so.
Like,
I don't think it's like that. I really think the next generation is gonna have way better. They already got more resources, more accessibility to find out information.
resources
and
has made things
And
lazy.
I feel like sometimes if you tailor in to this small demographic of, like, just say young black niggas in the hood or whatever, like them niggas probably not.
it's
but
young
then-
black men in the suburbs that's out here.
No, I'm just saying, but
cutting
I
up.
think sometimes our view get fucked up where we kind of like, let's say like the Job and Rand shit, like you like the kids shouldn't be looking at that, but then look at these thousands of examples that's doing well. So I think sometimes our brain just be focused on certain demographics that I don't think the youth is gonna be any worse than we was.
Let me ask you this question: what was one of the kids' first dance they did?
What
The Gritty, right?
yeah.
That's an influence. So they
I'm not saying the youth are not influenced, but I'm saying if we focus on like what are they being influenced by, I think it's way more positive shit out there than it is negative.
That's been the story all time. Like even in the what's the war on drugs? There's a lot of positive stuff going on in LA, but they focused on the crack.
Who is they? That's what I'm saying. Like, who are these people we speaking of?
Society.
I was
here we
definitely
go.
finna say society.
That's what I said last episode. I think society is always what's in your mind. Like,
That's not true.
I don't think it's tailored for everyone. Like your life and what you've been through, that's your society. But like a white boy in fucking Highland Park got a different society than you.
No,
do.
but the internet, I get what B-Walk saying. The internet has made the world that much smaller. So the white boy, and this is where it comes. This is where you get like these people who feel like I have a similar experience than you, whether it's true or not, because I got on my phone, because I got on my computer,
And I seen the same
and I
things
saw
you
the
did.
same thing, or I got on my TikTok. So the white boy who lives in Highland Park can feel like he has the same experience as the black boy who lives in Oak Cliff, because we both listen to Big X the Plug.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Or we both see him living this life. So I get what B-Walk is saying. The internet has made so what you're saying is that there's not much more trouble or difference or things or bad things to get into than when we were kids than these new kids.
Yeah.
Agreed. But I think the caveat is that the internet was not what it is now. So it creates a smaller ecosystem to where they can get into more shit than we ever could. Like, we couldn't Uber Eats no food to the school because we didn't want to eat what they was eating. We couldn't call an Uber to drop us off to a girl house because that's what we want to do when our parents.
If
like,
we were
That's what I'm
doing
saying.
pranks, it would
That's
be nigga night.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just the perception. So if you viewing it like the internet and all this shit can be bad, but look how much good they can do too. So I think it's
Bro,
kind of
my
like the
thing-
direction. There's no way we can like dictate which way it go because there's way more positive shit out there in my opinion than it is negative.
But it's our. I'm gonna let D.
But-
It's our perspective.
You gotta think about you saying it's a lot of resources, which it is. There's always been a lot of resources, but it's not being utilized.
I
like,
wouldn't even say that.
I don't feel like it's being utilized in our youth a lot like it should be. For one, I don't think a lot of people, you know what I mean? I'm not taking away from people that actually parents, but I don't think a lot of parents actually have patience like our mothers and our grandmothers did. You know what I mean? Because stuff happens so quick.
Look at the
You know
age
what I
gap
mean?
of what grandmothers
It's-
are and mothers and stuff like that.
People don't have the
That ain't
patience.
the internet. That ain't the internet fault.
It's not
I
the
mean,
internet fault.
I'm not saying it, but it's just the change that we living in.
I'm not
Like,
saying that. I just say like a lot of people don't understand like the patience that our mothers had on the stuff that they had to deal with. They had to wait on a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? We so used to getting stuff quick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like job applications. They was going out there to go look for the shit.
Right.
We can fill the shit out on Indeed. You know what I mean? All day and night and just feel like we
If
just
you don't get a
doing
call
something.
by 2 days later,
Yeah,
no, it's
still
an
looking
issue.
for some more shit. But it's just like we don't have the patience to even utilize those resources. So it's like a lot of the youth only looking at stuff that feed their mind, like what they find entertaining. You know what I mean? So like when it come down to learning some new shit or actually, a lot of the youth don't find that shit entertaining. It's the fighting,
Facts.
and it's the
Because
women, it's the sex, it's the
even-
drugs,
yeah.
bro.
even with my
Microwave.
with my wife being a teacher, like and then having younger siblings, like I say all the time, if I tell them, hey, you need to do this for like school, or you need to do this for like any little thing, or you need to order this, they'll always be like, well, how I do that? And I say the same way you got on your phone and looked up them shoes you wanted, the same way you got on your phone and found that song you wanted, the same way you found those things is the same way you can find the stuff that's beneficial to you.
So
it's a lack of effort.
That's my point. It ain't. I don't think it's the youth. I think it's the person that's guiding the youth. Like, it's easy to say all this shit out there, but if you let's say hypothetically we're parents and your son, like, you can kind of tailor the shit. Like, I can make you be efficient on the internet. I can be that, but some parents are, like you said, have patience. Some of our parents, some of these current parents are lazy as fuck. And as soon as you have a baby, what they do, give your ass a phone. All you do is blind. So, but instead of parents be like, hey, no, here go a book. We gonna read. What you want to do? Let's go do this. And then that day, society is different than a typical student or a kid that can just get a phone at the age of 1 and just their whole life just being looking at a screen. So if
but
the
that's
parents
moving,
is being,
now you're moving the goalposts though.
I'm not. I'm saying, like, you keep saying it's the youth, like it's them niggas raising they self.
No, that's not what we saying. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that they're getting into more things because of the internet. We're not saying the reason, but like a parent is gonna parent. It don't got. I'm not focusing on the parent portion of it right now because everybody will be better human beings if their parents were better parents.
Right.
That's easily said. But what I'm saying is you can't be with your kid 24 hours of the day, and there's more distractions now than versus when we were children. I think that's just technology is moving at a rapid pace. So it's just honest.
Even back in the day, bro, we wasn't even influenced by our parents. We was influenced by our peers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like when
That
we got to
wasn't
a certain-
cool.
Yeah.
when we got to a certain age, it wasn't about what our mama was saying. It was about what our homeboy was saying, what our cousin was saying, what we seen on the TV, what we seen like people around our age doing. That became the biggest influence around us. So it was like you was becoming your circle. You know what I mean?
And a lot of
So
times
that's-
niggas wasn't even really thinking about sex and women until
It was
they
influence,
homeboys
yeah.
made them
Said
feel like they
something
was a
about-
square because they wasn't having it.
And that go back to the first thing. A nigga in the suburb, like, okay, hypothetical. A nigga in the suburb raised by a dual parent house, so got mom and daddy, got the finances. His environment, the shit he learning is not gonna be the same as the shit they learned over there at Samuel and shit. Like, it's just a different environment. Like, 'cause they kids are not pushing the same shit. They have both parents. That mean they both have been raised better. You just said better parents. Typically, a dual parent household is better than a one parent household, right? So they have more influence on that side. Then when they get around their friends, the conversation is changing because they have different resources, different opportunities than somebody that have lack of opportunities. I think that's the problem. I don't think it's social media. I don't think it's the new era. I think it's some people have resources, and some don't have resources. So if
I
you
don't
don't
think it
have
comes down to
resources,
I believe it's the
resources.
resources.
I think it's the resources. I feel
Because
like
if that's the case, then you wouldn't have all of these white kids that are in the opioid crisis who get cracked out, who get on these drugs, and they end up in way worse places. Like
They're
I've
dead.
seen, you get what I'm saying? Like I see you. If the resources were, don't get me wrong, resources can be a issue.
They
It
are
can.
pivotal.
It is pivotal. They are important. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like the kid who come from a 6-figure home and has parents who are there all day games and supports them emotionally, like that don't matter. That matters. Resources allow you the freedom to be more present with your family. I'm not going to deny that.
Right.
But I'm not going to say that is the only thing that can deter someone who doesn't have resources versus someone who does from being a better individual.
right. Yeah.
Because you have a person that comes from these homes, and I've seen it, I've grown up with these people that come from the best of the best, and they end up being some shitty human beings because it wasn't the resources. My mama and my pops didn't always have a lot to give me when I was growing up, but they was present.
Yeah.
They loved on me. They let me know they supported me. You know what I'm saying? That stuff was more important than anything they could have actually bought me.
Right.
Right. I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying. So I think the presence of a parent is more important than the resources of a parent. I think resources are the second thing.
And last thing I'll say, because you said something about guidance. Guidance is only as good unless you accept it. People can give you guidance until you blue in the face, but it's up to the person that they're giving it to accept it. Because a lot of these kids are getting guidance. They just, bro, I'm not going to do that shit.
I got a
God,
homeboy.
I think God is in respect. It's got to be in there like synonymous. If they don't respect you,
You
you can't guide
guide
them.
them. I got a homeboy right now that we grew up, got everything as a kid. Everything. When I say new Jordan, nigga had it. New car, nigga had a. When we was in high school,
I think I know what you're talking about.
2010 was the year nigga had a 2010 car. Every Jordan, everything. Like, and then you fast forward 15, 20 years later, don't even talk to his family. People don't even know he got brothers. People don't even know he got and that becomes the game you begin to play if you give resources without being present, because it's just like,
Yeah. Like you said in the beginning, like the better parenting typically creates a better individual. So I agree with that.
I agree for sure.
There be
That was a great
some
conversation,
There'll be some
guys.
sore thumbs out there.
You said what?
Like you said in the situation that you said, there be like both parent, both household, get everything you want.
Yeah.
That doesn't shape everything. Like, don't make you. This is not the blueprint for you being perfect.
And I think sometimes, because as points in all of our lives, we have been the kid that went without.
Yeah.
So we have that
Character callous, boy.
that viewpoint where we think like, damn, if I would have had some of this other stuff, maybe things would have shook out different. And it's like, that's not always the case, because we had the people there every day still, like your mama, like, hey, I love you. I may not have it, but I love you. I'm supporting you. I'm doing. And it's like, that is what shaped us
You're
to
able
be
to
better
look at the
human
bigger.
beings.
You're able to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because you don't look like material things that only make you feel good for so long. But when you look at the big picture, bro, I have a house over my head. I'm healthy. I don't got to struggle. I got the opportunities I can go out there and get. It's different than you, bro. I got to go. If I don't do this, I'm not going to eat.
Speaking of, I'm
That's
glad
what I said. The resources. Okay, but what you saying?
I'm glad we on this parenting topic. So, so as we talking about parents, man, I got a family member who just has a younger daughter, and she was reading a book. The book was called, hold on, I got it right here, and I was like, man, I wanna ask them what they think about this. The book was called Unicorn Playlist: Another Phoebe and Her Unicorn Adventure by Dana Simpson. This is the cover of said book. All right.
It sounds a little.
All right.
Keep going.
So basically, in the book, long story short, the book basically talks about
Is it a kid book?
It's a kid book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the book basically goes, hey, is Infirmus the unicorn of death a boy's name or a girl's name or what? And then the unicorn replies, it's neither. I am neither. And then the girl replies, oh, humans have non-binary people too. And then the unicorn replies, so humans have caught up with unicorns. Good for you. And then the girl in the book replies, you are not a him or a her then. And then the unicorn replies, I suppose I am a they. Is that confusing? And then unicorn says, not at all. It is much simpler in the unicorn verse. Everyone's pronoun is nay. Nay, you know what I'm saying? Jokey joke. All right. Nay, it is then. That is very considerate of you. And so essentially he was like, how do y'all feel about, mainstream media trying to kind of, like, it's a lot of things they say kids are too young for, whether it be critical race theory,
Boy.
whether it be, you know what I'm saying, understanding different cultures, celebrating different cultures, but they do not believe that children are too young to understand pronouns. So how do y'all feel about that kind of thing being kind of slid under your kids' nose, future kids?
Well, for me, I mean,
I was seeing who's gonna answer first.
But for me, I don't see no problem with it. Honestly, I don't mind it because I honestly believe that as a child, the parents' role or whatever you giving them for like information is to groom them to be a better adult. So who say they too young to start learning this shit? They like as long as you can comprehend what you're reading and you can understand it, I think you're not too young. I feel like it's just education at this point. Like why? Who is the person that say these kids don't need to learn about X, Y, and Z? Like, well, who came up with the age group and shit like that? Because I don't think, from hearing what you were saying, I don't see that as nothing triggering. I feel like it's just educational. Now you learning that there are pronouns. When they get up and become an adult, there will be pronouns. I feel like you learn that. I don't think that's telling them to pick a certain pronoun. This is not telling you to sway it. I think they just giving you education on behind it. That's my opinion on it. And that's just for anything, the race shit, anything. I feel like as long as it's educational you and it's not trying to sway them to pick a side, I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think you can. It's learning. They learning this shit. So when they get into the adult world, when they bring it up, you're like, oh, I learned about that. It's just not saying that. If it was saying, oh, you should be thinking like this, that I don't want you to tell my kid what to think. But if you lay it all out there, and then at this point, it's just information. So I don't see nothing wrong with it.
How old is his daughter?
Not. I don't even think 9 yet. Maybe I don't think.
Because in the reason I say is, I'm gonna let y'all say something. Then
No, because I'm just going off. You said it's education, so if she's 8. They have a conversation about sex. Is that cool? Outside of being their parent at school, they have a conversation about sex. Is that cool?
I
think so. I think so. And the reason I say that because as an 8-year-old, you went to church, and I feel like that's very young to put religions on a child. And that's a big decision.
In church, they're not placing religion
I'm
on
not
you.
saying placing, they telling you to pick away, but you're learning about it. I'm not saying you got baptized at 8. I'm not saying that, but you are in church and you learning about this. And I think religion is a big ass decision for a person.
The caveat to that is there's a such thing as children's church. So
that is a children's book.
So you tailor the conversation for
I think that's a children's book.
Child. But I don't think that's a children's topic, I guess.
I'm just saying, how is that not a topic for children, but church could be? I feel like that is a big decision. I know people try to like, whatever, that is a big decision that you're going to map your whole life morals and beliefs on this. As an 8-year-old, younger than that, I done seen babies, 2-year-old, 3-year-olds in church. And I feel like, how can you say they too young to learn about that, but then at the same time, you learn about this decision you making for the rest of your life?
It's not, but my thing about it is that's not a decision you make for the rest of your life. Once you grow up into, your adulthood, you can, or even before then, some kids decide, hey, I'm not going to this church, or hey, I'm choosing this different.
You can switch.
You know what I'm saying? You can switch different religions.
It's just the education. I'm just saying education. I'm not saying you committed to it. You joining. You are a Christian, but you are learning about it.
But they don't talk about. My thing is they don't talk about church in school, so that's why I feel like that's a false equivalence. This is something that you've been giving at school. I don't send my kids to school. I don't send my kids to school to talk about religion. If y'all,
but you saying school, public school. You got charter schools that talk about it. You got public school. I mean, private schools that talk about religion. It's
but
a lot
at
of schools
those schools, they
about
tell you what they're gonna teach your kid before you even
choose
get enrolled. You
that.
choose what you go into.
I think y'all trying to. I'm saying there are educational systems that they place on young students and young kids at a very young age, and I don't think they have the mind space to see what's going on. So that's the same thing when it comes to pronouns, when it comes to anything else. It's a very young.
And I agree. If you don't have the mental bandwidth or capacity for certain things, I just think as a young child, there's certain things that you shouldn't. I feel like there's definitely an agenda that they are trying to push on kids. Like we want to teach you about everything, but some things. And I feel like I'm all for education. I'm all for educational things, whatever that is. But don't try to limit my child here, but then try to push this specifically on my child.
That's what I said. I don't want you to make a decision. Don't. If it's a book, don't tell them like. Let's say it is a. LGBT book. I'm not telling you to be gay, but if everything is in there, you talking about straight people, gay people.
No, see, you missing what I'm saying.
If it's everything, it's educational.
I think you're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you say, hey, we teaching our children about everything that, when it comes to the world, that means we're teaching them about the celebration of other cultures. That means we're teaching them about race and slavery. And that means we're teaching them about the LGBTQIA plus community. That means we're teaching them about religion. That means if that's what we're aiming at as far as educating our child and making them a well-rounded individual, that's a different topic.
Right.
But what is happening right now in our society, and this is not my verse, this is everywhere. They're deciding we're gonna pick and choose what we're gonna teach in this school.
what you
in
can't
most
teach.
schools across the globe. You've found countless stories to where they say, hey, because right now the what do they call them, the district meetings where the parents go are on fire. They're banning, if you teach about Black history, if you teach about these things,
You damn near can get fired.
you get fired, get the hell up out this school. But if you come behind that and you want to teach about, you know what I'm saying, inclusion of all sexual pronouns and all those things, you're praised. And it's like, okay, we got to find some common ground here because
Right.
that's not okay.
Exactly.
That's not the benefit of education because you're limiting my scope, which is what you don't want for your child.
That's what I'm saying. As long as it's all educational.
But that's not what this is.
I get you.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can inadvertently push something without saying, hey, this is what we want you to be. It's saying, we only going to push this agenda. All this other stuff, we're not going to teach all about Black history. We're not going to teach all about
The origin,
cultural. We're
none
not
of
going
that.
to teach all about none of this stuff. But we're going to teach all about pronouns. And it's like, okay, that's not bad. You're teaching us about, but teach everything. That's what I'm
right,
saying.
man.
Teach it all.
That's
You
what I'm saying. So to answer the question, long as everything is out there, I'm okay with it. I don't like for my child. I don't want you to put my child in the box and make your thoughts my child thoughts. Long as everything has been out there,
But I feel like
that's how I see
that's
things
what's
is happening.
though.
That's exactly what's
okay.
happening.
Because I thought the question was about how I felt about this book.
Nah,
but now when you talk about the whole thing, yeah, it's the education system.
Go
is
ahead.
fucked up.
I didn't want. Go ahead, B. Will.
No, it's cool. My thing is, bro, it's like me personally. I feel like, in a way, you have to expose your child to everything that goes on in the world, so they won't be blind when they grow up.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
So my thing is, okay, the whole pronoun part of it, that's the way that the world is going. That's the
Yeah.
agenda they pushing. You can't stop the agenda.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, me teaching them this about the pronouns and stuff like that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just throw that so they are aware of what's going on. You know what I mean? They're just like trying to say like a little kid don't only listen to gospel music, don't listen to the rap and stuff like this. Because when they get older, they don't know how to control them emotions and their feelings and stuff they got going on. So it's just like, okay, expose them to that. But I'm not.
Now that I think about it,
It's okay. Okay. You can read this, but if I see my kid reading that, I'm gonna actually get involved and make sure I'm teaching them about everything else too.
Right.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just be like, okay, I'm gonna let them read that book and go on. No, that can impact
They force
them
you
in
as the
another way.
parent.
Yeah,
They
and,
force you as the
I
parent.
agree with that. As a parent, let's say they take out Black history, let's say that shit they take it out of schools. But now, if I'm a parent and I'm present in my child's life, I'm like, what we learning in school? We talking and we just skipping over that shit. Like, hold on, I see you already in 1990. Let's go back. They missing some shit. Then so that's the parent job. Because honestly, schools don't. I didn't really learn shit in school.
That's what I was just about. That's what I was just about to
I
say.
was
Bro,
not paying
schools
attention
is
to
a
that shit.
programming for people working 8 hours a day.
Yeah, get your
I
program
was
in 9 to 5.
I was just about to say. Now, when I think of, and my cousin, my cousin did a really good job of kind of talking to his daughter. He had already talked about this previous to her reading this book, and they talked about pronouns and what she thought about it and how she felt. And so that made me realize. And I just don't, like I've always said, schools are not meant to teach your kids.
No.
You are supposed to teach your kids at home.
They just meant the program.
At the end of the day. So whatever, when they get to school, they should already have a foundation knowledge of who they are. And so when they get to school, nobody's kind of swaying them anyway. So I don't think school's meant to teach you nothing. My bad. That's what I probably should have led with.
But it's funny.
I think at the end of the day, when it comes to pronouns, I was always taught, regardless, you respect people.
Right.
You respect human beings. So it doesn't matter
What your
to me
pronoun
what your
is.
pronouns are. You got blood pumping through your body? Yeah. Oh, you a human being. I respect you, regardless of what your pronouns
Doesn't matter.
are.
It's a difference between a good person and a bad person, no matter what your pronoun and how you signify as.
Yeah.
That's how I look at people.
Yeah, I agree. But like, I think we at the end, that's why I like conversations on this pod. I feel like we all started all crazy, then we come to like, that's the right.
No, because I mean, this is real conversation because everybody in this room is not supposed to be on the same opinion. That wouldn't be
This shit be-
real
it wouldn't
or
be
wouldn't be
entertaining.
good footage. But at the same time, like we all have different perspectives, different upbringings, and different
So if
ways.
your
of
kid
things.
come home and says, I'm a they, how do you address it?
How old are they?
They 5.
I would say I would try to tell them. I would tell them explain
6.
that to me.
Yeah, I'm just saying explain it. If they can't explain it, flush that. Because typically, a lot of times in school, you hear some shit and be like, that's what I am. But then you be like, what is that? You be like, I don't know. I just heard it in school today.
This is one of my issues
But if
that I have.
I feel like it's not me to tell my child what they are, though. I don't feel like that's my
They
role.
say, I'm telling you, I'm a they.
They're
I
like,
want-
cool, but like, what
explain-
is that?
explain
Explain it.
that.
What is it?
So if they can't explain it, are you going to tell them they can't be it?
I'm gonna tell him.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
telling
tell
them.
him.
I wouldn't tell them they can't be whatever, nothing. You are what you say you are, but I want you to be. Everything should be educated decision. Don't do it because I got a friend that said he a thing, so I said I'm a thing. Like no.
So
no,
I
no.
gotta
Tell him you need to understand what you're saying before you trying to claim something.
It's like,
You
come
know
on,
what I mean?
man, I got that BBC,
Understand-
baby.
Yeah, you like what?
Understand
Nah, that-
what
I
you're
mean,
saying
shut
before
up.
you try to claim something because you don't know
That's what shit I used
what
to do
you're
in
saying.
Yeah.
You
Come
don't
on,
understand
man.
what you're saying,
That's
so
why,
don't.
hey,
If you
character
don't
callous.
understand it, don't claim
Yeah,
it.
and then I would ask,
That's like when
let's
I
say it's a boy, and I'll be like, so are you not a he? And then they be like, yeah, I am. I'm like, okay, or you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm gonna break them down. I'm gonna make you go through the whole process and be like, what's that? What's this? So
Okay,
now you know.
That's like, yeah, I agree with that. That's like when I was a kid and I came home one time and I heard somebody say heifer at school and I came home and called my mama a heifer.
Yeah, you just do
Boy.
dumb shit sometimes. You do
Grace
some dumb shit.
Dub. Oh my
And
God.
that was one of, she said, let me tell you something.
No, shit.
She said, I'm not going to slap you.
Shit.
She said, but you don't call me that. She said, you don't call no woman that. She said, a heifer is a cow. I said, oh, I heard it at school.
See, sometimes you just hear shit at school
Bruh.
that sound
But
cool when you just come home
My
and say that
follow-up
shit.
question, and it's my last parent question. So I realized from talking to you that you're gonna have a very open form of parenting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then my follow-up question to you is, at what point do you put up a boundary for your kids so they don't hurt themselves? Like what is
like hurt themselves in what way?
like I feel like as a kid, as you're growing,
lot of
like,
access out here.
Yeah, it's gonna be even more access than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And like as a kid, like when I was a kid, there were some things that I didn't know were not good for me, like an excess amount of things that I did not know. Like if I did this a lot, like growing up, you think sex is this amazing thing, which it is, but if you having too much of it at an early age, it can screw you up later on in life.
Factual.
Or if you get involved
I
in
got the answer to
drugs
your
too
question.
early, it can, you know what I'm saying, it can screw you up, or the wrong drugs. So or drinking, whatever the case may be, these vices, at what point do you like, all right, this is the boundary. That's just something that we don't do, or you know what I'm saying? At
Well,
what
for
point?
me, honestly, I can't think of no boundaries, but it would be parameters around shit. Like you still have like curfew, shit like that. You still have time where you are within there, so I can like monitor your growth. But the things that I'm teaching, what I'm saying, open is more of a. I'm not gonna force you to go one way or the other. You like, well, grow up, my child. Like, I want to go to church. You know, I'm a church nigga. Cool. Let me what church we can figure that out for you. I'm gonna put you in like situation to help you navigate your life, whatever you want to do. But I'm not gonna be a person to say, hey, it's Sunday, wake your ass up, we going to church. I'm gonna let you know, like, 'cause I feel like certain decisions as a child that we wasn't.
Give me another
afforded.
example, because that is the example you always go back to. Give me something
That's
else.
the big one. Okay, so like
There's other shit
let's just
besides
say,
church.
okay, let's just say like my child be like, I want to play football. We just say they do that. Then one day, like, I don't want to play football no more. I'm not gonna be like, no, nigga, you done signed up for this. You
But
won't
that's an
finish it.
easy one too, though.
What you want me to say? Anything.
I want some better examples.
You don't
So,
want me to talk about
my-
religion. You can't talk about
Sports,
sports.
because that's.
I'm trying to give examples that people can relate
because
to.
I think that religion is like the extreme, and I think sports is like really small. So I want something that's in the middle.
Okay, let's say I have a daughter. I don't say daughter because niggas
Okay.
it's hard for niggas to do daughter. Let's say she 13 and she like, I want a boyfriend, or she
Okay,
talking to
that's
somebody.
okay.
So that's a better topic for you.
example. Okay.
So for me, I would structure so like, what is a boyfriend? Like I said, I'm always question you. Whatever you want, I'm gonna ask you, what is that? Like,
Okay.
why do you want that? So if you can explain it to me, you want it, you can do it. Then like, I want to go to the movies. I'm not gonna be a nigga. You can't be dating no nigga. So like, I bet you want to go to the movies. What time of movies? Drop you off. Shit, I'll fuck around, go to the movie, go to another movie, and just chilling there with you. So I'm not gonna take away your freedom.
So you gonna be at the movie?
Yeah,
in
but
the
I'm not
back
gonna be
row.
with you. No. Like you go to your movies, I fuck around be at the bar. I'm just chilling and just making sure because I gotta take you home, or I might go to a restaurant down
Yeah.
the street. I'm not gonna overcrowd you, but I'm gonna still allow you to grow. I feel like a lot of times people aren't being able to grow, and then a young lady, let's say hypothetically, you have a daughter like you can't date a nigga till you get out of my house, right? And we see what happens to them girls when they get to college. The girls that couldn't do shit in all their life and get to
Yeah,
college
God,
go
they're free
crazy.
to go
They
out.
go
Pussy
crazy.
popping, pussy,
So you do
pussy
that. So
popping.
now I want my kids to
Just
have.
kidding.
I want them to have the endurance, the education. So when they making decisions, when they leave me, I feel like they be like, this is not nothing new to me. I just have more access. I can do a little bit more. I got more freedom. But I don't feel like I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, and I feel like that's not fair for a parent to do. To like make your child walk in the same life that you do. Like I feel like I don't want my kid to be Dante Part 2. Like I want you to be your own individual, and whatever I can do to assist you on that journey, I would do that. But now if you're doing some shit that I think is reckless, let's say I have a son and he hanging out with niggas that typically get in trouble. These niggas done been a juvenile. I would be like, I don't think these are friends for you, but I give you a reason. I think a lot of times parents don't give you reasoning.
So what if
it.
that reason doesn't work? Would you
and
say
still
would you
hang
stop
with
him from hanging with them, even knowing that it could be his demise?
But I feel like when you trying to strong arm them, they gonna do it.
Well,
more.
I'm not saying like, hey nigga, don't hang out with them. I'm saying like, but would you try to devise a plan that would almost be like? But sometimes I feel like again, kids don't know, so they like it was. Sometimes I needed my mom to be like, hey, you fucking wildin', you can't do that.
Yeah, I would do that.
You get what I'm saying?
I would give
I would have burned myself alive.
Yeah, I would give you my opinion. I would, but I don't think I would force my child to do nothing that they don't want to do. I don't see that, but I don't have a kid yet, and I can't see them putting themselves in position. But obviously, I would like
kids though. They gonna do that.
They gonna do
like
it. But
did you not put yourself in a position where you was like, I probably shouldn't be here, but I'm kicking it?
I never really have. I ain't gonna lie to you. I never been in a situation where I feel like I can get in trouble or I haven't. I swear. I was a nigga like, and I had the freedom. It's just like that shit didn't interest me. And I feel like a lot of kids growing up, honestly, they parents either they wasn't home, they was always doing some bad shit, or they was sneaking because their parents were too strict. And they were like, I can't even come home, so I'm finna just be out all night. Fuck it. If I go home, I'm get in trouble. Like I don't even want that vibe. Like
I just feel like if you leave kids to their own devices, sometimes they may not make the best
go down the
decisions.
wrong.
no, I'm not leaving them to their
not-
devices. I'm giving them their devices though. It's like I'm like, so if you interested in this, let me see how I can do this in a positive way. So a lot of times, let's say hypothetically, you got a kid that's always jumping off shit. You be like, stop jumping down. But nigga, put their ass in gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? Like find something that's positive that can help them navigate what they dealing with at the time.
And I agree, but those are positive things. I'm saying, what if they're interested in something that you know is negative from your
Right.
experience in life?
Like what?
I like guns. There's a lot of pistols out here. I like going to the gun range. I like guns.
Now, guns, I feel like it still can be a positive. I feel like gun training could be a real thing. I feel like now I'm gonna teach you about like.
Is there not a
I'm
specific
educated.
age for that though?
For what, gun training?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that'll become like me and my lady. We like, what age we gonna put them like? But I feel like a kid at 4 years old not gonna be trying to hold no fucking gun. I don't feel like that.
We don't.
I was
There's
a
a lot
gun-
of
I was a
there's a
gun
lot of
kid.
act, bro.
Man, they
If
have water guns and cap guns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like shit
But
like that.
we know
my
one of-
kid interested in the gun. I'm gonna go to motherfucking Walmart, get about 5 Nerf
We got a
guns and have a
partner.
fucking war at home.
If he
Like,
see you
I
with
feel
that
like it's fun.
pistola, he gonna let it rain. We got a partner whose son, he see you with that pistola, he gonna let it rain.
Like a real gun.
No,
Nah,
it's
he
a
got-
play gun.
That's what I'm saying. You can get play guns, go get some Nerf guns. Like, you
But
can
in
be
their
interested
mind,
shit.
that's they think it, in their mind it's not fake.
Nah,
we
nah,
know
nah.
it's fake.
That's bullshit. Cause I was playing with my cousin.
With a little kid?
I was playing with.
They know
I was
that-
playing
they
with
know
Kate.
that
I was playing with Kate
shooting
the other
guns
day. He
not
got this
real.
new little gun toy, and we was just playing with it. But I don't think he was thinking about this is the AK.
Well,
I'm killing
I
that
don't
gun.
mean
I don't think he was thinking
I don't
like that.
mean kids as far as Kate and A. I mean kids that are young. Like you give it to them just so they can busy themselves. Where they grow up and they continue to have it in their hand, they utilize that. In their mind, they grow up thinking it's knowing everybody in the room knows it's not real. But at the same time, they keep something of that magnitude in their hand until you now have to wean them off or teach them the next responsibility with that.
Yeah,
Bro,
nah, that's what I'm saying.
guns are not dangerous. Stupid people that use the guns are dangerous.
True.
Know what I mean? So
Solid.
it's just the education behind
For sure.
the gun is where needs to come in that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just
And
the
if you're
education
watching
that's
this on the
behind.
YouTube, man, tell us in the comments how you would parent. We'd appreciate any advice. If you have children, if you've adopted, if you've had them, just let us know, man, because we want to know how
Everybody
you
that
how you
commented
parent
on
your
whooping
kids.
your kids, we need that
Yeah,
same feedback.
And
I
if you
wanna
don't
say one
comment,
thing,
we
bro,
don't care
so
anyway.
I need to get mine off. My thing is, bro, when it comes to parenting, I feel like you have to be honest with your kids and just let your kids know life is a learning process.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's if your kid make a mistake, it's not bashing them about it. It's them getting to understand that,
Yeah.
hey, if you make the mistake again, this time you might not come up out of it.
It's
Or
consequences.
it's you can't just keep bashing them because they're gonna keep making mistakes in life.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't hold them back. You gotta let them discover the world and understand what the world really is. You can't hide. Like I hate when people trying to hide stuff from their kids, bro.
Yeah.
Cause
It's not a point about hiding it. You gotta get them to understand what's going on.
and my last thing, when we was talking about how old or what's the age group, I feel like once your child
Start
can
questioning shit.
ask you a question about it, at this point they interested in it. And then the way we already know how social media is and internet is, at that point if your child is asking you questions, if you don't want to tell them the answer, they're gonna go find it on their
They
own.
can
So
go
that
to
way
the wrong resource.
Nah, that's
and
the
I
thing.
think a lot of times in parenthood that if a child asks you a question, don't ask me that, don't ask me that, don't ask me that, not yet, you ain't old enough. At some point they're gonna stop asking you.
Mm-hmm.
And now you done fucked up your relationship with your child to ask you questions. So now every answer they get moving forward is gonna be from an outside source.
yeah.
So
Again, that
at
comes
my
down to
point, so
parenting.
if your child come in there at 6 and be like, I'm a day. Hold on, what's a day? Like now at this point, I wasn't ready to talk about this shit, but obviously you are. So now let me talk about it with you. I think a lot of times parents be like, that ain't no topic for no little kid, but what is a topic for a little kid?
I
'Cause
mean,
they just young
yeah.
adults if you think about it. So you got to groom them if that's what they interested in. Let's go ahead and give you all the resources, and then at some point, You know how kids are. Once you give all these resources to this shit that they want to do, like, I don't even like that shit no more. So they gonna grow out of it sometimes, and they just. But if you keep saying, don't talk about it, now their curiosity is getting real up there, and now they be like, I'm diving into this shit head first. So
let me just ask a question and just see and get the answers from the room. Why do you believe parents say, don't talk about it yet, don't talk about it yet, don't talk about it yet? Do you think they had that conversation with their parents where they had the level of understanding to then communicate that with their children, or they just, I don't have the emotional or at least intellectual space to have that conversation with you yet, because I'm going to have to now be vulnerable in a place and take you into different avenues of my life that I haven't even brought back up in my own life. Because sometimes parents don't want to relive certain things that they've been through to talk to their kids.
Hey, well, I ain't gonna lie. I will admit, I can credit you for doing something. You ask questions and answer them hoes for yourself. You the only nigga I know that know how to do that.
No, I'm just giving my answer. And then
like, what y'all feel about this? And he give you the whole answer about how you felt about it. I fucks with it. But yeah, I think what you said is right. I think sometimes the parents don't have the resources, don't have the knowledge of it. Or sometimes when they was a child and they wanted to talk about these topics, I think somebody told them that's not a kid topic. So in their mind, they just view that as an adult topic.
Stay a kid topic.
And I feel like, I honestly don't feel like there's a adult topics and kid topics. I think if a kid, now I don't feel like the adult should be putting this shit on the kid, but if the kid is somehow asking you, at that point it's your job to give them guidance. That's how I feel. So,
Church.
Exactly. Exactly.
Bodied that shit.
I appreciate that, man. So I want to talk about this handsome handouts B-Walk wrote on here because it got my mind intrigued. What did you mean when you wrote that on that board?
I think it was yesterday or the day before. I was watching the clip, and a girl stated there is pretty privilege.
Oh yeah,
just in the same way that women have, but handsome handouts are for men who are handsome that go out because they already. I mean, we get a lot of privileges or handouts from women that we don't basically have to work that hard for. We show up, we have charisma, we have personality.
Oh, so you put yourself in a handsome category.
I mean,
You said
again,
He said we.
I said we.
I fuck with it.
I've never had a problem with women.
No, I'm just
ever.
saying sometimes niggas don't be giving themselves. Well, I don't think no nigga call themselves ugly. I don't know too many niggas that say I'm not handsome.
He ain't got to. His
Ever
friends
had
gonna let him know.
You damn right.
Your niggas gonna let you
You
know.
fucking right.
Hey, brother.
But
hey.
basically, handsome handouts is basically we have our own caveat. We don't have to because we are black men that look good, have something going for ourselves, have intellect, can start conversations, can have meaningful conversations. Certain women come across men that don't have shit that they can offer. So with us, we wouldn't have to work that hard to get certain things that other men who don't have the looks, have the personality, have the things that are going on.
So you think some men just get stuff just because they looks? Scratch out personality, scratch out all that other shit just based off looks.
I don't think they get it based
handout.
off look. Because men are not afforded that luxury to get something based off their looks.
Because women can get something based off just their looks.
I think
alone.
as a man, you may have to put forth less effort.
Yeah, you get their attention
in
because of your
said
looks.
things, but I don't think you could a woman could walk in a place and just because she fine, she would not have to do anything, lift a finger, spend no money. Niggas gonna be flocking, they gonna whatever.
We may turn some heads.
Michael B.
Rapper baby
Jordan.
mamas.
Michael B. Jordan could walk in a goddamn bar. He still gonna have to buy a drink.
Right.
He's still gonna have to buy a drink.
But he ain't gonna have to work as hard as everybody else.
He ain't gonna have to work as hard for the waiter to get him his drink, but he still gonna have to buy a goddamn drink.
So I agree. The handsome, like everything else, the personality, the intelligence,
It creates
all
less
that shit,
effort.
You ain't got to be 130. You can be about a 60. If you look really good, you can get through life.
It creates less effort, I think, for a man when you are handsome.
Yeah, but now
But
professionally,
you bring that personality along.
honestly,
Run it.
professionally
get
can
yourself
switch. I think
somewhere, yeah.
professionally it's a little different. I think if you are an attractive male, I think a lot of times in your professional career it's a little easier for you to navigate.
Less
over.
effort.
Yeah.
The same
But
concept.
You
I
still
don't
gotta
think you
show
got to be smart.
ugly
I don't think
nigga,
you got to
you
have
have
the
to-
best personality. I think sometimes some niggas in professional just
Entry level.
You gotta get over there and get in there, get in there and go work, my boy.
Another question I wanted to raise from it, because I don't know where pretty privilege came from. I don't like to use the term.
Carrie Hilson.
Okay.
Carrie Hilson.
Pretty girl rock.
I don't. Okay.
I see where your mind
There
went.
we
I'm
go.
trying to sound like she coined the phrase or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, bro, where you hear that from? But
That joke fell flat. It's all right, guys.
okay, it's fine.
I'm gonna have to get a warrant.
But nah, I just wanted to raise this question.
They actually start putting some shit on here.
I wanted to raise the question because the thing is, I don't know where pretty girl privilege came from, and I don't like to use the term woke because I feel like that's people criticizing people for being conscious. I take woke as being conscious. You're aware of the things that's going on in different sectors of the world. Do you think handsome handouts was something that was created from somebody that was conscious of how basically there's been a divide between the male and female gender. Like again, I'm just trying to bring a question. Like, where did that come from?
Honestly, this today my first day ever hearing this. So
Okay, I would just because I never heard this until like 2 days ago, and
Shit
I'm
they
like,
doing Highland Park. They don't do that shit where I'm from.
Yeah, I ain't heard about
I've
no shit
never
like
heard
that.
handsome. I was like, bro,
They
did
don't
you
give a
just
fuck.
make? Because the thing is, in this day and age, a lot of people
Definitely.
make things up to kind of make it seem like they're more intelligent than what it is, and it makes you seem like more conscious than you are. Like, I'm not sure.
No, I think pretty privilege
Has been a thing,
stands there because women and men allow pretty privilege.
I agree.
You ain't never did nothing for a nigga that's that nigga handsome. I'ma help this nigga out. Oh, that nigga ugly.
Now you
ain't
saying
never did no
something. You
shit
said
like that.
I agree. I think
never
the
did no
pretty.
shit
I think
like
the
that,
pretty
bro.
Men and
privilege-
women are not acknowledged pretty privileged, so that's
Yeah.
why I think it's so prevalent.
Yeah.
I don't think that
Yeah,
men
niggas don't give a fuck.
niggas don't care about handsome handout.
That nigga handsome to be. Hey man, come get a drink with us.
You a good looking fella. Come on down here. Let me
But the
holler at
thing
you.
is, but the thing is, with men don't hold like we've heard terms. Most girls want to hang out with the pretty girls. They don't want to hang out with the ugly. There ain't too many ugly friends in a group with pretty girls. Dude, like we already
I
established.
think about a 3-to-1 ratio.
Right. But the thing is, it don't matter with dudes. As long as you solid and you real with me, it don't really matter how you look because I'm not attracted to you.
Well, that's why women don't stay friends long though.
Again, that's the divide.
They don't even do.
They don't.
well,
Shit.
They do it. Some of them because they pretty.
They
Like she pretty girl. You
friendships
good.
be
Some
based
girls,
on
some
false shit.
some girls will
Yeah,
only go to the
definitely.
club with a certain group of girls because
Man,
you know you're gonna help with this. With what we going?
Why they don't
They know
stay friends?
we get in the section. I go over here with Ashley now.
I got
Exactly.
you can have a homie. A nigga can have a homie that look like a goddamn roach.
And you gonna hang with that
If he
nigga?
a solid nigga,
Hey,
that's
going to the
Let's
club.
go.
Yeah, we
I'm gonna
in
bring
that
him
bitch.
wherever I go. We could be going to the Grammys. This roach looking nigga coming with me
Yep.
because he done been with me.
But then sometimes the pretty girl, they be so like superficial. They don't have nothing else but they look.
Other than looks, no conversation, no personality, no
So
nothing.
they gotta hang with girls that got a little depth to them. That's what that be. They need somebody to cling on to. So they
Because
can,
if you ever had a conversation with a beautiful girl with no depth, oh my god,
it's the worst shit
like
ever.
watching paint.
I feel
dry.
like you talking to a sandpaper.
The whole conversation is that
Fucking right.
they just need you to reinsure
big
how they
ass
feel about
Post-it over
themselves.
there.
That shit is so boring. Then if you trying to hit it, you just deal with it. But after you hit, you be like, I'm done talking this
Yeah,
bitch.
it's boring. It's just not worth it. It's empty. Like it's like
It's a waste of time.
All you care about
you
is the
want
look.
me to engineer every conversation? Oh no, this ain't gonna work.
She wants you to be the CP3. Them conversations,
Yeah, I
no
can't.
sir.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
But that was all handsome handouts.
I don't think
was.
I've ever had a handsome handout though. I don't.
I mean, you probably have.
If I did, I wasn't aware.
I'm pretty
Yeah, I don't
sure.
Like
think I'd be paying
I
attention.
only figured out what handsome handout was 2 days ago.
I lie.
I remember you
I
told
Like
me
we've
that
all
story.
had a
What you
handsome
get? What you
handout.
get for just being handsome?
I've gotten a drink before.
Yeah, I remember you told me
I've
that
got a
story
drink.
on Greenville.
I
Yeah, I remember that one.
I got one in New Orleans when we went way back, like when AJ shit.
You talking about the Greenville story? Yeah, you probably talking about another story.
Green was
I remember the
The
little
nigga Zach
Greenville
getting a
story.
lot of handsome handouts
Yeah.
over here. He don't.
Yeah,
he,
he
he
ain't
losing
even
count.
know it. Ain't
You
even know it.
remember?
I damn sure don't remember that.
Ain't even know it. All right, boy.
I'm scared.
That nigga all
Real
right.
thing, bro.
All right, so I think we got time for one more topic, Zach. I want you to go down to the bottom of the page and pull one of them out of there.
Oh, I
Boy, you
go
got
to
some
that
good
mother.
ones.
I go to that mother sucker.
Go for it. I do want to bring it
What
up.
All
about
right.
the sucker?
All right.
I do like how we point here and it's a camera there now.
Damn right. Yeah.
I like that.
So the one I want to go to is: do we think there is enough grace for straight black men from the LGBTQIA plus community? Because I feel like as we get in, as I feel like as being outside, I feel like there is a constant call for black men, straight black men sexuality for anything that we do.
Yo.
I feel like everybody else can have an opinion on everything else, but when it comes to straight black men, you better shut the hell up. You don't get to have an opinion on the community.
Why you
I
put the
think-
black man right there? Why not
Well,
just
because
straight man?
because it's a difference between being black gay, straight black, and white gay and white black. It's a totally different
white straight,
experience.
and white straight. I
And
got
white
you.
straight.
I got
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
multiracial.
White
And they
black.
said white black. There's a lot of white black
Mix.
motherfuckers out here these days.
Bro, I think I know.
but
I
it's
think I
a
know the
big
reason
difference.
though.
Like when you're black and you're in the community, you have a whole nother set of rules. And I learned this from
Yeah, I know that.
friends that are in the community. You have a whole nother set of rules than a white
Yeah,
person.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Their gay is a lot more accepted and appreciated versus black people in the community.
That's the answer right there.
Are you hold on? Are
But
you
as a
saying,
st-
so like the black gays and are they not accepted by like the straight black? So are you saying?
No,
or
no,
you
no.
saying,
What
like,
I'm
it's different
saying,
rules that they
bro,
living with
that's-
inside their
that's-
community.
no, well,
That's how
you're
it was
asking.
for so long, bro.
I'm just trying to get clarity. I'm confused.
Okay, so let me reframe my question. Maybe I
Yeah.
did a terrible job of explaining this. All right. So I think that as a straight black man, when it comes to the LGBTQIA plus community, they are harder and they tear us down at a much higher rate than any other community.
Right.
When you know what I'm saying, I think there is a almost like a certain, not a disdain, because I feel like that's a strong word. I think like a certain taste in their mouth. Pause.
Keep
We need a
going.
we need another sound.
Y'all not fucking with my
I got
jokes.
you. I got no. That was a great
That's a
joke.
good joke.
I got an
But-
example.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to get canceled.
Yeah.
But I think there's a certain taste in their mouth when it comes to straight black men that they don't value our opinion. They don't want to hear what we think about things. And when it comes to women, black women, or any kind of woman, you need to shut the hell up. Good, right, wrong, or indifferent. When it comes to anything that it's just shut up. They just want
Our
us to be
opinions are
seen, not
invalid.
heard.
Yeah,
Okay,
literally.
before we go there. So I hear what you're saying. That makes sense to me. Now I get the question. So what is the difference between them and how the straight community that the black community treat the L? Not us on this pod, because we are allies, we advocates. But I think the majority of black men do not say anything positive about that community.
That's
So
what
what's
I'm
the difference
saying.
between how they talk about this community and how this community talk about them? So I think they
For the
both doing the same
longest-
shit. And honestly, I think it's way
You know-
more motherfuckers over here that's vocal. This is not the straight community that's more vocal about them than. I ain't talking about on podcasts. I'm not talking about on the news. I ain't talking about that.
You
But if
cannot
go-
say anything about.
Now,
But it don't matter. You
not
don't get
publicly.
back in the day.
How you gonna get reparations for some shit that?
But I'm just saying, back in the day, like saying all that shit, like niggas just be on that shit hard, bro.
they did.
Like hard.
I think niggas
So
still on it now.
I
I think they just not broadcasting.
Man, they doing that. They doing it now. How white people say nigga.
Go in the living room. Okay, that's a good ass example. That's a
They
good
saying
ass
that shit
example.
how white people say.
Go
They
in
saying
the-
that shit in the back room.
In the back.
But they ain't saying it in front of no gay folk.
Go in the room with some 40-year-old uncles. No cameras, no microphone, and just put on a gay commercial or something. Just watch how them motherfuckers is
You know-
going crazy.
you know what
What
happened?
kind of shit you got on this
Yeah.
TV? Look at this shit.
I had to
I'm
correct my
telling you,
pops the other week.
It's the same thing. It just now that the community and all this technology and this council culture, you can't say it publicly no more because you don't want the backlash from it. But I guarantee you going anywhere with no cameras, no TV, no anything that we can record it. Put some 40-year-olds in that room, some 30-year-olds. I swear to God, they
but
gonna
this
be
is
going
this
crazy.
is my thing. This is my thing. I think what it has done, it has created a culture.
Now they can diss this side publicly though. I think
That's what
they
I'm
can't
saying.
do that.
That's where it's not
That's what I'm
even.
saying, and it's not. I don't even care about it being even. I think some shit is clown and corny shit, regardless if you gay, straight, whatever the case may be, and we should be able to call it out when we see it. But because we're on the straight side of this, if somebody from that community does, or anybody else, to be honest, it doesn't matter who it is. If they do something corny, lame, crazy, as a straight black man, I can't say, yo, that shit was whack, because you know what they gonna say then? Whoever the case, they gonna come back and say, man, nigga, you corny. Look at this corny shit you did. You shut the hell up. You cannot have an opinion as a straight black man. You can't.
I say because they feel that the way we bash them hurts them more emotionally than what they say to us. That it don't phase us emotionally.
How they know that?
That's how I feel, because it feel like, you know what I mean. I don't. Well, I
Tell
don't
me,
feel like a
when
lot
you
of
get
people
on the
care
internet,
about
bro,
them.
when you get on the internet, you see black straight men getting their ass toe off the bone.
Yep.
For
Toe
regular
off
shit.
For regular, everyday shit.
I don't be seeing it. That's what I'm saying.
I do.
That ain't
No,
You
they-
see it,
on
man.
Facebook. You try to say an opinion about somebody, they gonna have
they
you all
gonna
over the
tear
story.
your ass up
Sit
in
your
them
gossip
comments.
They
ass
gonna
down. Shut up.
screenshot it. They
Okay,
finna
so
go,
does that LBGT do they community do that just unsolicited? Or they saying that shit to people that said something about them, and then their whole community like just.
No, I think.
Or
if
you think they just see a
if
random
you-
ass straight man be
No,
like,
no,
"Go on your ass."
No, hell no. Nobody
That's what I'm
don't
saying.
do it like
Well,
that.
I'm
thinking if you have an adverse opinion or an opinion that goes against the grain, which may not necessarily be harmful to anybody, but it's just not. And I think that's just the world we are in today. If you don't group think with said anybody, and you say, you know what, man, I don't agree with that. I feel like that was wrong. Oh, they gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
Prime example. When what's homegirl's name? I can't remember her name. Was dating Michael B. Jordan. And is now dating Dan
Lori
Frazier.
Harvey.
When Lori Harvey came out and said that it was a report that came out and said she has you have to sign NDAs to date her, right?
Yeah.
And I think I saw some nigga on Twitter was like, yo, that's wild. Like, I'm not signing. Like, why I gotta sign an NDA to date a woman that I'm attracted to, like regardless of her status. Like, I think he said something along the lines like Jay-Z didn't sign no NDA. Like that's weird to me. Shut your ass up. You couldn't date no woman like her anyway with your bum ass nigga. I was like, damn.
But a
Look
gay
at your
person said,
ass.
because I feel like there's just anybody can have that opinion. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you know, like, he's from that community and he bashing him because he's gay. That's because he's straight.
There was a rainbow in the bio, but
Okay.
That's definitely the tracker.
That's
Ain't nobody just putting rainbows in their
That's
bios
the tell-all
because
tale right
check the bio.
Yeah,
ain't no niggas getting no rainbows.
Yeah, okay.
but besides the point, I think I appreciate. Anyway, long story short, I appreciate this space because we do get to have our opinion. Y'all know we are inclusive of everybody, but I think the spectrum was one way for so long. I agree. Black men having too much opinion, patriarchy, and misogyny on every other issue, every other community, that now the pendulum has swung so far back the other way that sometimes I think as straight black men, we'll see some shit that maybe needs to be addressed as a straight black man, and we'll be like, nope. I ain't gonna be the one. I ain't gonna be the one to address it because we're fearful that it's not gonna be appreciated or we're gonna get tore off the bone. And I feel like a lot of things could be negated in our community if we just had a little bit more grace. I think sometimes to speak our mind. 'Cause sometimes I see some shit, I'll be like,
so I got a question.
if I say this, it's gonna just let it go, bro.
So my question is, so let's just say we had the straight community from the beginning of time and have this range to just talk shit about that community, right? This whole time.
I agree, and that is what has happened.
And now they finally telling us like, shut the fuck up. And I think we going crazy. I think a lot of straight men going crazy because this for the first time in our whole existence that we have to tailor our conversation to be respectful.
But it's not about, for me, it's not about the respectful because I've always been respectful. For
Not
me,
you. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about the straight black men. Not on this pod. I feel like we're a different group of niggas. I'm talking about for the majority of straight men. I feel like they whole entire existence, they never had to say something respectful to women, to this community. Everybody is what I say is how I feel because I'm a man and I'm going to stand on that shit. If you got a problem, fight. That's how niggas operate. So now for the first time in our society, now they be like, hey, just because y'all straight and or you the strongest or whatever, you can't say how you want to feel because you have been so long.
But it's not about how I feel. My thing is if you see something that is not like that, it could harm somebody or something that's not okay or something that is just as a human, not gay, not straight, as a human that is something that's harming humanity. And now I have to second guess whether I should say anything because if my opinion is not in line with those of the masses, then I will be destroyed. Right. Or that opinion will be stepped on. Not literally, I'll be destroyed. But for me, that's what it's about. Because a lot of times you could see something that is not that's not helpful to humanity. And you be like, you know what? Nope.
Well, my thing is, if I say an opinion and somebody don't agree with it, you know what I mean? If it's a majority of people that don't agree with it, okay, that's y'all opinion too.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So it's just like
I think group, you know, now that I think, but I think it may not necessarily be the community versus straight black men. I think group think may be the problem.
Right.
I think we just have more people that are sheep these days
Yeah.
than people that are willing to stand alone.
I agree with that. And everybody's scared to say their opinion because you don't want to offend nobody.
Right.
But you guys won't see that part. They'll clip this up and make me look like I hate gay people.
Nah,
I'm not gonna do that.
we ain't gonna do that. But nah, I'm just very firm.
Mad as you put it in my mind.
Nah, but at this juncture,
I be trying to give everybody how I try to dictate the content how I feel like you.
I don't care if you know me in real life. You know I don't care how I come off. You know me in real life. I love everybody. Don't matter.
but
to me.
just to wrap it up,
Oh, you gonna wrap it up?
yeah, because I know we finna get to that time. But I was just finna say simply, bro. At the end of the day,
War
like
protection.
B. Will just said, we all got opinions, and understand that just because you disagree with my opinion doesn't have to be disrespect. We can all have separate opinions and come to a common goal at the end of the day with things.
And to all my friends that are in the LGBTQIA plus community, I love y'all dearly. We talk often. I check on y'all.
Sure.
And we have a great time. Yeah.
Y'all not a party.
I do feel like if we had these conversations about the communities and we coming from a place of love, like we not trying like fuck y'all and nothing like that. I feel like these conversations could be had. So a lot of times I feel like it's not coming from love. I feel like it's coming from a total disrespectful way. So
like niggas trying to get content on the backs of their hate for a community.
Yeah, and that's not what we on. So I feel like as you have been a known advocate for the community, I feel like you can say shit. Like you the reason, I say honestly, that the podcast moved in that direction. Because before you doing that shit, I ain't even know nothing about no pronouns. We just went through the pop quiz of what the letters mean. We still don't know that shit. So
we learning. We're working.
We still learn. I think that's the key. I feel like we're willing to learn. I think that's what separate us, these group of guys in here, and the majority, because it's not a hate or a love thing. We just want to learn and just like function with everyone. So I get that.
When I first got here and we started talking about that shit, I was highly uncomfortable. if I must be real about it, you know what I'm saying? I was uncomfortable. Like, these niggas ever talking about this type of shit? But it opened my eyes to understand, like, bro, it's okay to have those that polygamy.
Polygamy?
No, not
so
that.
you on some freaky
Yeah,
shit.
I'm saying, where you going with this?
He just got married.
What's the other word for it? But
Yeah, the other word.
Platonic. Oh,
platonic relationship
With
with
people
you know what I'm saying,
from-
from LGBT, like it's cool to do that. You know what I mean?
Because
Ain't
they
nothing
don't
wrong
want
with it.
us.
They're
Yeah.
people at the end of the day.
They don't want
like,
us.
Yeah,
Nah, they want them handsome handouts.
I think they merge handsome handouts and pretty privilege, whatever way you want to go.
Oh yeah, Dante said somebody told him he was handsome.
I've always been told
So
that. I thought that was
from
my name
the
for a minute.
LT. From that community, brother.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, no, them niggas be
those.
shooting at me. They ain't
I'm
just
just-
handsome. Them niggas
That's
be trying
where
me. Them
I've
niggas be
only
trying me.
felt uncomfortable when advances are made.
Nah, I don't. At
Why?
first I did.
don't.
At first I did, but now I just be like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
I ain't getting. As soon as you let them niggas know you not
They're
gay,
like, oh, my bad.
No,
Probably ain't no
no.
disrespect.
That's
They
what I
say
said.
no,
That's
my
what I
bad,
said
no
it was. Like that's when like I have gay uncles, so I've been around.
Nah, I was trying to fight
gay
at one
individ-
point.
Nah,
Nigga, what?
Never that. It was never that. Like never that. It was
Yeah.
just when the advances came. That's when I felt uncomfortable, and I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to get physical with you because you think I'm attractive. Like again, that's your that's whatever you think, but I'm not into that.
Yeah.
But
Hey, B-Walk, is that time?
I love
That time.
y'all.
Hey, Ziggy, is that
Love
time?
you too.
love you too.
Hey, B, we'll do that thing that you do, man. Do that thing that you do, man. Zach gonna give you the background vocals.
Hey.
What you?
DJ B Walk.
Oh, what the fuck?
Drop the beat.
Whoa.
I got that free game.
What you got? What
I
you
got
got?
that free game.
Who it for? Who it
Got
for?
that free game.
What you got? What
I
you
got that free game.
Who it for? Who it
Got
for?
that free.
Swelly
I got that
podcast.
free
We got what you need.
game.
Yeah, we do,
Got
yeah,
that
we do.
free
Swelly
game.
podcast.
I got that
We
free
got what you
game.
need.
Mike, check on me.
Check on the word.
I bet them motherfucking mics ain't cut off today.
Hey man, it's that part of the podcast where we give y'all a little bit of game, and we want y'all to understand that it's always free 99.
Who's song with the weekend?
It may be entrepreneur, it may be spiritual,
think it's mine.
it may be business wise. So if you like it, take it and apply it to your life. If you don't, we don't care anyway. So whose free game is it?
I go. It's my
We all
song.
got
It's my
free
song.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, who wants? I did say who free.
You
game.
fucking right.
B Walk.
I got
Run
it.
up.
So my free game for today, episode 118. Submission is not suppression. So if you're ever in a circumstance
pod,
where
nigga.
you believe that you're submitting and you're suppressing who you truly are, that may be a situation you need to evaluate, because submission should never be suppression. It should only be elevation.
What you got? What you got, B?
Oh, it's on me. Mic check. All right. So it says, families continue, and so do unresolved issues. It's up to you to put your foot down and refuse to continue generations of trauma.
Where'd you get that from?
Like that.
I like
Where'd you get
that.
from?
I like that.
Somewhere.
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 I had that lined up in my palm pilot.
My free game is there's no such thing as a bad friend or a good friend. Either you are a friend or either you are not. I think sometimes we need to stop subscribing to they're just a bad friend or they this is my good friend. No, you either are a friend or you are not. Do not bog yourself down trying to make bad people in your life good people in your life. They are who they are. There's no such thing as a bad friend or a good friend. You either are a friend or you are not.
And when they show you who they are, believe them, huh?
Facts.
My fuck,
Well,
fucking
right.
nigga.
Well, compared to
So
society.
my free game last night, me and my lady, we went to the Durant Bernard concert. And he said some shit
That
last
nigga
night
cold.
that stuck with me, right? So he said, give yourself grace, right? Look at her flexing the shirt. Give yourself grace. As an adult, this is your first time being an adult, right? You living, everything is new, man. Stop trying to like beat yourself up. Stop doing all that shit, man. Give yourself grace. Nobody gave you no rule book. Nobody gave you no pamphlet to how to do this shit. So give yourself grace. And 9 times out of 10, the shit you struggling with, you doing it for the first time.
We
So
all
give yourself grace.
experimenting.
And
Shout
that
out to
nigga
Durant
said,
Bernard,
that
man.
nigga said
Hit
you
that-
are
hit
enough,
that
man.
bomb,
So
hit that
that,
bomb over there.
I'm tapping.
Like that, brother.
so that's my free game, man. Give yourself grace, man. This is your first time doing this shit.
Hey man, for just give me this zoom in.
I got you. I got you.
Boom, boom. Hey, check me out. Look me in my eyes and try to feel my
Look
pain.
me in my eyes
I need y'all to
and
understand
try
something.
feel my
We need you to like.
Like.
We need you to subscribe.
Subscribe.
We need you to share.
Please.
Sure.
We don't need no silent supporters. You understand me? We need people that's gonna support us out loud. We got merch coming soon for y'all. We done had 3-4 people hit us up asking about merch. We are planning to have some merch for y'all so y'all can get on that, and we're gonna take care of the people who actually are listening. Also, if you reach out to us and be like, hey, we couldn't hear the last episode, we appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
We took care of that for y'all, so go back and look at that. Y'all been running our views up on YouTube. Keep doing that because you know, when we go, y'all go. So we appreciate y'all. Y'all can be one of them niggas like, I was watching them niggas when they was in the apartments. And we'll appreciate that, man. So thank y'all. We love y'all, man.
But like you said, episode 118 of the Swelly Podcast. Like Zach said, we appreciate y'all. We love all y'all. Where the camera at? We love all y'all. Do all the shit Zach just said. In the same way you let us know that shit wasn't working, you can say something positive in the comment. So everybody let us know the sound wasn't working last week. We looking out for you and your comment on this damn episode, all right? But this is another episode of the Swelly Podcast, and this is my song of the week.
Turn me up.
Seen it coming. Did you